7 o'clock Eastern means polls are now officially closed in the Palmetto State in South Carolina, and that means we are now waiting for the first county to report its first votes in this, the Republican runoff for the United States Senate. Darline Graham, sister of the late Lindsey Graham, endorsed by Donald Trump in this race, facing off against Congressman Ralph Norman. We expect really any minute now this map to start lighting up. We'll get some clarity on a big test here of President Trump's clout with Republican voters in what was a big Trump state, certainly, in past elections. Not the only race we're going to be watching tonight. It's polls closing time in South Carolina right now. An hour from now, we will be saying the same thing right here, where it's going to be another test of Donald Trump's clout with Republican voters. This Oklahoma, the runoff for governor there on the Republican side. Trump is backing Mike Mazzei, a former state senator. Gentner Drummond is the state attorney general. Trump has made it very clear not only that he supports Mazzei, but that he is against Drummond. In the preliminary here, this was a very close preliminary election. Look, 1,100 votes was the margin between Drummond and Mazzei. First and second here. A lot of votes for the other candidates as well. Again, an hour from now, Oklahoma will be closing, but all eyes right now are on South Carolina. This is what it looked like in the preliminary when Graham got a third of the vote, and Norman, with that support in his congressional district around Rock Hill and across the upstate, was able to get the second slot. Calling up now tonight's results. Again, we don't have anything in yet, but if past is prologue, I think it took in the preliminary 13 minutes. Is that right, Adam? 13 minutes till we got our first report. And that, when I say Adam, I'm talking, of course, about Adam Naboa, producer, numbers cruncher extraordinaire. Adam, what was the first county that gave us a result in South Carolina in the preliminary?
I believe it was Orangeburg. But the thing that strikes me tonight is this is the fourth time we've had a competitive statewide primary in 3 months in South Carolina. And I don't know. We've spent a lot of time in South Carolina. I'm eager to see the results because I think every one of these races, I don't know which way it's going.
Well, this one, there's a lot of, I think, suspense, an unusual amount of suspense for this one, because nobody quite knows what to make of it, right? Again, I don't want to get off the results screen too much. I'm going to quickly just remind you in the preliminary, though, one thing to keep in mind, right? Again, we say the Norman strength was up here. There's a ton of votes up here, okay? This is part of his congressional district. This is the anchor of his congressional district, York County. Then you get to Spartanburg and Greenville County. Those are major vote hubs there, and you're getting outside of his congressional district. But he ran up the score there. Lindsey Graham, when he was running in Republican primaries, some of his biggest struggles were up here in the upstate. So Norman, you think, could get a big number out of there tonight. Again, I think that's the expectation. That Norman, I'll go to this results page in case anything comes in. We don't want you to miss anything. But the expectation is Norman's going to get big number out of York County. Okay, probably 5% of the vote in this whole primary going to come out of there. And then right here, the 1-2 punch of Greenville, that's going to be the biggest vote-producing county in the state tonight. And we've been getting reports of, relatively speaking, very high turnout there relative to the rest of the state potentially. So that's something to watch as well. But Greenville and Spartanburg, so again, between these two counties, that's about 20% of the vote statewide. York County, Norman's core of his district, there's about 5%, a quarter of the vote is going to come out of some very, very Norman-friendly places, we think. And really, again, that Norman strength extended here across the upstate, like Anderson County is another big one here. Expect him to do well there tonight. So just from what he can get out of there, I think that could put him in contention. Then the question is, what about the rest of the state? What are we looking for? So I think a couple things here, again, before this map starts filling in to keep in mind. One is right here, kind of the PD region, the 7th congressional district. This is where Congressman Russell Fry is from. Remember, Fry was the third candidate in that preliminary. He fell short of the runoff. He was just behind Norman, but he won every county in his congressional district. And by far, the biggest county in that district is right here. It's Horry County. It's where Myrtle Beach is. Probably 10% or so of all the vote statewide, probably a little bit less than that, but something like 10% is going to come out of Horry County. Okay, now Fry, since that primary, has endorsed Graham. And when Donald Trump came to South Carolina late last week to campaign for Graham, where did he go? He went to Horry County. He went to Myrtle Beach. Okay, so I think there's an expectation here tonight that, for Norman, it's about running up the score here. For Graham, it's about running up the score here, and really in particular here in Horry County. Again, demographically in Horry County, we're talking about a very conservative Republican county. Oh, we got some results. Let's just get right to the results. Okay, Newberry County. Again, what you're looking at in South Carolina, the first reports are going to be early vote. It's going to be early vote by mail. Then they're going to fill in the same day as it comes in. So Newberry County right here, this is a smaller one here, but you're getting the early vote, and you're seeing Norman lead Graham. Now, one thing that we have right here are rough, and we're going to see how these hold up, rough benchmarks for how we think these candidates should be doing tonight, where they want to be in each county. Now, again, Newberry is one of the smaller ones, and there could be some flux. These numbers could adjust throughout the night. But I want to tell you, where did we think Graham needed to be running in Newberry County? We thought she probably wanted to be running somewhere around 44, 45% here. Okay, so now this is just the initial, and this is just a small county. All right, so I'm doing this more as an exercise to show you how this is going to work as the bigger counties start to come in, okay? But in the early vote here, all right, you got Graham running at 48, you got Norman running at 52, and we think a benchmark, a rough benchmark that Graham wants to be hitting here is about 44, okay? So like we got to see how the election day vote goes. Is that going to be different? Is it going to be more pro-Graham? Is it going to be more pro-Norman? That's one of the big questions here statewide, right? Because what do we know about election day vote in Republican primaries? It tends to be the more sort of, hardcore Republican, pro-MAGA, pro-Trump. Is that going to, Trump's endorsing Graham? Does that mean that the election day vote is going to be more pro-Graham because that election day vote in Republican primaries tends to be more pro-Trump? Or is Norman more in tune with that Republican base? Is it actually going to be better for him? I mean, it's been such an interesting dynamic in this race because Graham is Trump's candidate. And of course, Lindsey Graham, her late brother, had a very good political relationship with Donald Trump the last decade or so. But the other thing we know about the Graham family name in South Carolina is Lindsey Graham had a lot of trouble with Republican primary voters throughout his career. They were very skeptical of him often. There was an uneasy relationship there. When Lindsey Graham ran in what proved to be his final campaign just this past spring in a Republican primary where he vastly, outraised his opponent, he only got 56% of the vote. So, Trump behind Graham obviously is what her campaign is kind of based on right here. But how much sort of lingering skepticism when it comes to the Graham name exists among core Republican voters in South Carolina? And are those, we talk about those voters tending to vote more on election day. Is that something? So we don't know that's what I say. There's a lot of suspense here about how this is all going to play out. But again, what's going to happen right now in the next few minutes, just zoom out statewide, it is just Newberry County in that early vote. What's going to happen here in the next, period of time is these are going to start filling in, and what you're going to be seeing in each one of them is going to reflect early vote, election day vote. Early vote, pre-election day vote. And then after you get that initial batch in these counties, they start filling in their same day vote. And it's just a key question in these. You're going to be seeing us do this county after county tonight. I'm going to be asking Adam, what was the early vote and how is the same day vote breaking? Because that trend is that same day vote. What materializes as a few counties start to come in is the same day vote friendlier to Graham? Is it friendlier to Norman? And that's going to be the vital context for sort of interpreting the early vote numbers. We got more. Now we're into that 7th congressional district I was just talking about. We say Horry's the biggest in that part of the state. Second biggest is right here, Georgetown County. We say this is where Graham needs to be putting up big numbers. Remember, I was saying this is where Trump came to this district. This was Russell Fry's district. And so you see in the early vote in Georgetown County, this is a significant county. 2/3 of the vote right now going for Graham. What is the benchmark we think Graham wanted to be hitting here? Again, these are rough, but just to give you a sense, about 63%. So again, that's a little bit above what we think is the benchmark for her here, but that's just early vote, which makes that question so critical of what the election day vote looks like. Does it get more Graham? Does that 67 go up? Then it's great news for her. Does that election day vote get more pro-Norman and that 67 starts to come down towards 63? That's trouble for her. So you can start to see that. Chesterfield County, again, you're still in that 7th congressional district. It's much, much smaller. Okay, so much of the population in that 7th district is in these counties right here, is in Horry County, Georgetown County, a little bit in Florence County there as well. Chesterfield, very small, but early vote here. And what are you seeing? 74 essentially for Graham, and a benchmark here of about 66 for her. So these are, we say she needs to, the expectation tonight is that Norman's going to get big numbers up here, and Graham needs to have big numbers here to sort of counter that with. So right now, very, 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 very initial and preliminary, but, if let's put it this way, if Georgetown County ended up looking like this at the end of the night, that's probably a good number for Graham. But that's just the early vote number right there. If Chesterfield County, much smaller, but like if counties like Chesterfield, if it ended up like this at the end of the night, that's good for her. But we don't know. We don't know what the election day vote's going to look like. What we do know is she needs big numbers here. Norman needs big numbers here. A big question tonight's going to be when you get down. This would be the 1st congressional district here, getting down to Charleston and Beaufort County and in Berkeley County, fast-growing inland. It's where Mark Sanford did better in his, remember, he was in 4th place in the preliminary. Sanford had represented this area in Congress. He was, of course, the governor of the state as well. Sanford has endorsed Norman, okay? So Norman's numbers were low here. Graham didn't run worse than 2nd anywhere across the state in the preliminary, okay? But the question, down here is going to be interesting because because Norman didn't do that well, but Sanford did. Sanford's out of the race. Sanford's endorsed Norman. The other place that's going to be huge tonight, talk a lot about, is the Midlands. Particularly, we're going to be talking about right here, where the state capital is, Richland County, and then right next door in Lexington County. Graham did pretty well here in the preliminary. I think she wants to be winning, by pretty solid margins here as well, and then Aiken County as well. These three, Aiken, Lexington, and Richland, and together they're a pretty significant. We're looking at about 15% of the vote probably statewide. Probably 15% is going to come out of these 3 counties right here, right? So kind of the Low Country and the Midlands. Those are 2 key regions outside of, if you say this is Norman up here and you expect this to be Graham, these are the other 2 regions we're kind of keying in on here. And then you can kind of, as I said, that Norman support we think extends kind of across the upstate, although I think a lot is going to be concentrated for him, like in Greenville and in Spartanburg. Graham actually did a little bit better when you get out to like Oconee and Pickens. In fact, Lindsey Graham was actually born in Pickens County. I think we got a little bit more. It's the 7th congressional district that's coming in first right now. Darlington County, again, you're in that Russell Fry district here, okay, where we say Graham wants to be running up the score. And we think this is early vote in Darlington, and a benchmark rough that we came up for her here is 64. So again, you can see it's a similar story in all 3 counties that have we've got early vote from the 7th congressional district. The early vote is putting Graham probably where she'd like to be at the end of the night in those places. But to get from here to the end of the night, you got to go through the election day vote. As we've told you, that's going to be the big mystery here. One other thing I think to keep in mind, there was Greenville being the biggest vote producer, we think, in this primary, probably by far. I think we just got Orangeburg. Okay, Orangeburg was one of the first last time. It is again one of the first. And again, this is small. This is very small here. But again, Graham 72 with the early vote. What's the benchmark we'd established for her here? About 68. Okay, so it's a very, she's running a few points above her benchmark in all the counties where we've got early vote. Only heightens the significance of that. What's the same day vote going to start looking like? And let's get some bigger counties in here too, again, because Georgetown's significant, but we want to see Horry. We want to see Greenville. We want to see Spartanburg. We want to see Anderson County. We want to see these 3 right in here: Aiken, Lexington, Richland. We want to get down here to Beaufort. We want to get Charleston County. We want to get Berkeley, places like that. Let's get some of the big. Oh, and York County up here, which is that's the heart of Norman's district. 5th congressional district, kind of in here. This is what Ralph Norman represents in Congress. Okay, and then extending across. Oh, look at that. Now you got Oconee County, all right, So now we got the early vote here, and it's 55-45 Norman. And again, we think this is going to be Norman's neck of the woods tonight. What's the benchmark we established for Graham here? Again, she did, relatively speaking, she did better here than elsewhere in the upstate in the preliminary. The benchmark we established for her here, rough 47, coming in at 45 with the early vote, again, in Oconee County. I think, did we get any? Charleston, oh my gosh, we got Charleston. Okay, this is just, okay, it's coming in. Okay, Graham at 59 on the early vote in Charleston. It's a bigger one, obviously. And what's the benchmark number we got for her in Charleston? 59. Okay, where else? We got more coming in toward the upstate, Lawrence County here. Okay, again, Norman, you expect. This is going to be Norman country tonight. The benchmark for Graham we put up here was 41, 45 on the early vote, okay? Charleston's big, okay? Charleston's probably, 5%, 6% of the vote statewide. But that's not a lot of folks voting early there, is what that's telling you. So again, reset statewide. That's what the tally looks like. But again, you see, we're taking you through what's inside of this right now, and so it's largely coming in, the way broadly we thought it would. Norman doing very well here, Graham in here, Graham down here. I said again, Charleston. I think the benchmark number we have for her here is 59, and with the early vote she gets, 59. But boy, okay, we got more coming in. This is small. McCormick is one of the smallest in the state. But 62% of the vote for Graham. Yeah, I mean, I put her benchmark closer to 55 here. So, but this is the second smallest county in the state. So don't let the geographic size fool you. Go back out here. We're going anything that comes in, though, we want to look at right now. I'm not missing any, right, Adam?
No.
It's got Anderson. Anderson's big. Now, Anderson's a very big piece of real estate. Okay. Early vote in Anderson has Norman 55, Graham 45 here. And the benchmark we established for Graham here is 42. So it continues that pattern we've been talking about. Oh, we got Horry County. Okay, let's go right to Horry. You see Anderson, here's Horry. Horry's massive, and look at this. Okay, early vote. This is where Myrtle Beach is. This is where the Trump rally was held. This could be 10% of the vote tonight. Biggest in that 7th congressional district by far. Graham running at 73% with the early vote here. Again, the benchmark we've given her here is 2/3 of the vote, 67%. So it continues. Really, if Graham is getting 73% of the vote in Horry at the end of the night, she's feeling good. But election day vote. Is the election day vote going to bring this number down this way, or is it going to stay around there? Huge question. We're getting York. Ralph Norman's base. Okay, let's call it up here. Yep, okay. We got the early vote here. And again, benchmarks here. I'm giving you Graham's. I'm just going to use her numbers as the benchmark rather than trying to, do one candidate here, the other candidate there. So just know that for the rest of the night. We got to choose one just for simplicity purpose. We're going to use the Graham benchmark. If she's failing, that's good for Norman. If she's hitting it, that's good for her. Okay, so York County early vote. The benchmark we got for Graham here is 35. Okay, but she's in enemy territory here. This is Norman's district. She's running a little bit under that. I think we're getting some more. Yeah, right next door, Cherokee County. Okay, again, expecting a big margin here for Norman. 39, the benchmark for Graham. I mean, you could do the math yourself. If 39 is the benchmark for Graham, 61 is the benchmark for Norman. We got more coming in. This is in that PD. This is that 7th congressional district. This is tiny, but the number we have here, yeah. Graham, so it is interesting here that in the 7th congressional district, okay, where we said Russell Fry, the congressman who swept it in the preliminary and then endorsed Graham, and the Trump rally was held in the heart of this district. Those early numbers that you're seeing for Graham, for her, are the kinds of numbers she wants to see. Did we get Barnwell? I don't think I showed you again. This could be small. She's, 68's the benchmark I have for her there. We're not missing anything yet now, right? I think we got everything accounted for. We just got did we just get Greenwood County? Okay, again, now you're going to be, this is much more Norman what's the Graham? I got her needing 47 here. So, look, if she's, I guess one thing to say here is if she starts to exceed benchmarks we've set for her here, okay, that's really good news for her. But can Norman then counter that by exceeding benchmarks we've set for him here? And, again, in Rock Hill, we said he wanted to be getting 65, running at 68 right now. But where that question is really pertinent is, I do this every night. Where that question is really pertinent is going to be in these two counties, Greenville and Spartanburg. It looks like a smiley face. Greenville and Spartanburg. It's going to be pertinent there. We are, just so you know, if you've watched these, you know how this works. Our friends at News Now are in live programming tonight. They're going to be checking in with us periodically. The first of those check-ins is going to be taking place about a minute from now. Greenville, holy cow. Okay, false alarm. It was just what I thought it'd be a big. This is good when we get something meaty out of Greenville. But this is a little hint here. This is the kind of thing. Norman wants something massive out of here. He wants something that looks just like this out of Greenville tonight when that number comes in more than 1%, more than just a scattering.
We got Beaufort at the same time.
We got Beaufort. It came in. Okay. So again, now early vote in Beaufort. That's why Hilton Head. Okay. The benchmark I set for Graham here is 65. Okay. That's 63. Okay. Again, these are, to be within a couple points of the benchmark on just the early vote. Just don't read into it too much either way. But okay. Back to the News Now. I'm going to reset to the statewide. News Now is going to come to us in a second. We're going to give them an update. And anything that's coming in, while we're on with them, we'll get to. And Adam's watching that thing like a hawk to see if any election day vote starts to come in anywhere. Colleton County, again, first congressional district here. Graham doing a few points better, I'd say, than at least in the early vote than the benchmark would have. So they're going to. You'll get to watch the whole hit. You'll hear this is Tom Yamas. You'll be hearing, I think. And okay, there's still about a minute. Did anything else come in here, Adam? While I was.
No.
Right. We got Lawrence. We got Newberry. We got Greenwood. We got Anderson. Anything more in Greenville? No. Cherokee, York. Okay. Okay, so we're just getting scattering of early vote right now. Again, don't be fooled. Greenville's huge, and it's colored in because we do have some vote. We have just a tiny scattering. We do not have anywhere near the early vote there in Greenville. So I'm going to circle it because we want to see the first real meaty report out of there. Same for Spartanburg. Okay, same for these three. Those are some big things that we're kind of waiting on right now. These two counties in here, nothing to sniff at. Excuse me. Right there. Okay, what's happening here, folks, is I'm hearing the News Now show. And so that's why I don't want to dive too deeply into anything because I'm going to have to stop talking here in probably 40 seconds or so. They're still talking to a correspondent. Then you'll see the whole thing. But anything that fills in here, has anything else filled in? Yes, okay, here we go. Lancaster County. This is in Norman's district, okay? He didn't do as well here as he did in his York County. Oh, okay, Lexington. Okay, quickly. Lancaster County here, early vote. This is one where, I think Graham wants to be high 40s. Okay, so that's a good number for her. We got Lexington. A lot of suspense around Lexington. These are suburbs of the state capital here. Graham did well here in the preliminary. I gave her a benchmark here as 61. They're coming to us.
Also in the House, he's already crunching some of the numbers at his big board. Steve, that South Carolina vote coming in right now. I know it's very early. Walk us through anything you have and what you're seeing.
Yeah, it's starting to fill in here pretty quickly. I would say this, that we're still waiting for some big counties where we don't have reports yet. The numbers that we've seen so far, especially down here around Myrtle Beach and sort of in this area of the state right here, this would be the PD region, the 7th Congressional District, and then right here in Lexington County, which is big, suburban, Metro Columbia county here. These numbers are very encouraging for Graham, but they come with a catch. Everything that you're seeing right now is early vote. It was vote that was cast before Election Day. They were able to get that all tallied up and reported out very quickly after polls closed. The big question is going to be when they start releasing the vote that was cast today, the Election Day vote, does it look different? Because we've seen that be the case in so many of these Republican primaries we've been following this year. Does it look different? Is it as good for Graham as she's getting out of some of these reports? Again, particularly around Myrtle Beach right now, she got a really good early vote report out of there. But the question is going to be the Election Day vote. Does it continue to be good news for her, or does it shift? Because we've seen big shifts with that before. But certainly in the areas, I think, where Graham wanted to be performing strongly, so far preliminarily, she's getting pretty good numbers out of those places. But we got to see what the Election Day vote looks like. And then I got to say, from Norman's standpoint as well, we expect him to do very well in this part of the state. This is where the anchor of his congressional district. This is York County, Rock Hill, right outside Charlotte. That's a very good number for him there. This is a big one. Greenville County is probably going to produce more votes than any county in the state tonight. It is just a scattering of votes that have come in so far. That number for Norman, if he's running at 70%, when we start getting some real vote from here, and then we'd be saying he's doing quite well in his neck of the woods, too. So preliminarily, we've got more votes in from sort of Graham-friendly areas. Right now, they look like the kind of numbers she'd like to see down there. That could change as the Election Day vote gets added in. And let's see what happens in Norman's more friendly territory of the upstate as we get more reports from there.
Yeah, just under 10% in right now. Steve, I know you're going to be watching that map all night. Any other races you're getting data on, or any other analysis you have of those other races? I know the one in Oklahoma that Ryan mentioned as well.
Yeah, polls will close there about 40 minutes from now. Just to remind folks, you got the report there, but Gentner Drummond, the state attorney general, Mike Mazzei, endorsed by Donald Trump. This is a runoff. The preliminary election, these two candidates were almost dead even in it. Only 1,100 votes separated them, and there were a lot of votes for other candidates in there. They each got about a quarter of the vote, so a lot of mystery, a lot of suspense, and again, like South Carolina, a test of Trump's clout here. He's behind Mazzei, and he's really attacked Drummond as well. So in Oklahoma, it's a test of Trump's clout, and that certainly is the case here in South Carolina, where he's really pushed hard to try to get Graham across the finish line.
Okay, Steve Kornacki will be on the board tonight. We thank you again. Still ahead on Top Story.
Okay, folks, so you see how those work? If you haven't seen them before, isn't that fun? All right, what do we got? Anything come in while I was gone? I'm not gone, but while I was doing that hit. I'm not seeing anything new.
Yeah, Sumter, Lexington, and Florence were the three most recent.
Oh, we got Florence,
before
okay.
The hit.
Yeah, okay, Florence again. Most of Florence is in. This is like that 7th congressional district we're talking about, where Graham just wants to be getting big numbers here. And again, every report I've seen here where she wants to be getting big numbers, every initial report basically is putting her a few points above where I think the benchmark for her would be. So, right now, she's getting what she wants out of the area she really wants to get it out of. And right here, this is a big piece of the puzzle as well. Lexington County here, this is one of the bigger vote producers in the state, right outside Columbia here, very Republican county. And again, I think she's getting the number she wants to get out of Lexington as well. But I'll say it 1,000 times, that's the early vote. What does the Election Day vote look like here? Okay, I think Pickens County we did not have before and just came in the upstate, in Norman country here, early vote. And again, as I said, Graham and our benchmark 43. It is 43. And I feel, did something else come in?
Clarendon and Lee.
Yeah, okay, we're starting to get let's see here. Sumter, Clarendon, these are small, but just to give you again, it's just that trend here of Graham running above Lee. You said this is small, this is very small. Yeah, in all of these, she's running several points above what I think the benchmark for her would be. But again, if the Election Day vote is not as friendly to her and that number starts to come down, so much for that. Also, if Norman, again, waiting to see, Greenville is really interesting here, right? Because, it's one thing, okay, in a county like Lee County, where you're only going to have a couple hundred votes tonight, right now I got Graham running 5 points above her benchmark, but in a county that size, what what is that really worth compared to like up here, where this could be 15% of all the votes statewide tonight out of Greenville County. And if Norman's getting 70 out of Greenville, right? I mean, I think the benchmark we'd established for him was like 68 here, right? Even if he's running 2 points above that in a county that big, that starts to add up. So that's why, Greenville, and then right next door in Spartanburg, again, for Norman, that's going to be like, that's the 1-2 punch he wants to land. Monster numbers out of these two counties. Go, as high as he can out of York County. And then I think right away, coming into focus here for him is, I think he wants that election day vote. How we keep saying, is it going to be, if you've watched these all primary season, once we start getting election day vote, there tends to be a shift, right? It tends to start moving toward one candidate away from the other. The election day vote tends to look a little bit different than the early vote. But how is that going to go tonight? Is it going to look a little different where it's better for Graham than the early, or is it going to look a little different where it's better for Norman than the early? And I think these numbers so far largely are saying Norman, it's going to be it may be pretty important to Norman that it be a little bit better for him, at least based on what we're seeing around the state capitol and in the 7th congressional district. But again, I want to see Greenville and Spartanburg.
They put in a characterization of this race just with these recent reports as now leaning towards Graham.
Yeah. Okay. That's. I think that's really the question. Look at this. It's now on our screen. Okay. And that's why. The election day vote is going to have to look different, okay, than the early vote. She's hitting and exceeding numbers in these key places. And if the election day vote looks different, she starts to come, below those benchmarks, the picture changes. But if it looks the same or even better for her, there it is. That's what that characterization means. So anything else has come in here?
We got some Kershaw. The thing I was looking at, we did get a second report out of Horry County.
Yeah.
It's an additional 400 votes.
Right.
It's being characterized as election day vote.
Okay.
It looks very similar to the pre-election, but we can go through it. If
well,
you want to.
Let's start. This is
so in the pre-election day vote, right? It was 73-27.
Yeah.
In the election day vote, it's 73-27.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's the other thing here. We're saying it tends to look different. We've seen that throughout this primary season. If you've been following these, But at this point, if it's the same, right? If it is not, any different, that's going to net out to Graham's advantage because she's exceeding benchmarks, and she's exceeding them. This is a big place to exceed your benchmark. Again, we said coming in, we thought 67 was the number she wanted to aim for here in Horry County, right? And if she is able to add, it's only 400 election day votes that Adam was just telling us about. There is a lot more to come, but in those 400, they look the same as the early. And so if she's able to maintain 73% out of Horry County, right? That, again, as I say, I think that's going to be about 10% of all the vote tonight, okay? So that's if you can exceed a benchmark by that much in a county that big, right? What's the expression? That forgives a lot of sins. You can miss a lot of benchmarks in small counties. You can even take a hit in the upstate, where like Norman runs at 70 up here instead of 68. Norman runs at, that's a big thing for Graham if she's able to hold that in Horry County. And then even next door, Georgetown County, which isn't, is not as big, but it's a significant piece of the puzzle here. And again, 63 was the benchmark here and running at 67. So if she's able to maintain that between these two counties, maybe put it this way, I think between these two counties, you're looking at 12 to 13% of the vote statewide tonight between these two. And in each of them in the early vote, she's running, above, 4 to 6 points above the benchmark, okay? In two counties that add up to that much of the puzzle, right? So that's why you're seeing that leaning declaration there for Graham. And it's not just there. It's here. I think this was a significant one, too. She's right at, in fact, right above. 61 was the number we kind of came up for her here, and she's running a point above that. And again, this is a big one. And I think there were some questions here about there was some chatter that her number might be underwhelming in Lexington. So far, early vote, not. Aiken next door, I'm going to be really interested to see. She did quite well here in the preliminary. And I think, her math depends on a big number there tonight. Again, Aiken's a big county. If she's able to exceed her benchmark there too, right? I mean, these things, Aiken, Lexington, the Myrtle Beach area, the entire 7th Congressional District. Yeah.
Another election day report, I think, out of Ori again.
Okay, yeah.
Another 800 votes.
And I can already see she ticked up, so it must be. So you said 73-27 is the early.
Yeah.
Now what's the election day running at?
75-25.
75-25. And how many election day votes do we have?
1,200.
1,200 now. So right, again, it ticks up to 20. That's a lot to come. But boy, that's right away. We've watched some of these in the past, where right away you start seeing the shift in this election day vote, and it's like, the candidate who led the early vote is doing 10 points. So now we got 1,200, and she's actually running a tick better with you. That's a great sign for Darline Graham.
I think small Lee County is another one where we have early election day split.
Okay.
Yeah. In the early vote, she was leading at 55-45.
Yeah.
And now it's the election day vote 57-43.
57. These aren't huge shifts, but they're both going a little bit more for her. And, it raises that possibility. We say, how do you understand what we've seen in these Republican primaries where it's that election day vote becomes more kind of MAGA, more pro-Trump? Trump is pushing Graham. So, is that a Trump effect there if she's able to even do better with election day? If she does better with election day vote, she'll win this thing. If she does even with election day vote, she'll probably win this thing. Norman needs that to turn around in the election day vote. Again, we only have, those are the only 2 counties we think where we've got that, right?
Yeah, I'm looking for other ones.
Okay, yeah.
And we just got a report from Aiken.
Yeah, we got our first report from Aiken.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, okay, so now I got her running 64 is the number I had established for her here. Running at 62 with this, so a little bit short. But Aiken's small. Aiken's going to be, it's a good-sized county. It's 3%, right? It's about 3% of the vote statewide. Right next door, in Lexington County, it's 7% statewide. So it's 10% between these counties. Here in Lexington, 7%, she's running a tick above her benchmark. In smaller, it's significant, but it's smaller than Lexington. She's currently running a tick below her benchmark. So between the two, you'd rather have this than that, okay? And again, we say here, she's running above benchmarks, right? That's very significant. That's very significant. That speaks directly to the Trump. That was the emphasis of that Trump visit last Friday, was to go to Myrtle Beach, was to go to Horry County, was to go to this place and to generate what so far Graham is getting. Okay, 13% statewide. Do we have any other election day vote?
Chesterfield was the one I was looking at. Mm-hmm. That one she does slightly worse. So it's 74-26 in the pre-election day vote, 72-28 in the election day.
How many votes in the election day?
About a quarter of our expected election day vote, 400.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, so that's small. That's a small cap. Norman needs some significant shift from the election day vote, from the early vote to the election day vote. Not 74 down to 74 for her down to 60, that kind of thing. In places like, I think that's what he's going to need here. And again, so far, we've looked at Horry County is where we have the most election day vote. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. One flag from our decision desk, an example of Graham more effectively consolidating the Fry vote than Norman. In the first round in Florence County, it was one of the strongest counties for third place finisher Fry, who won 52% of the vote to Graham's 26. Tonight, Graham is consolidating those votes, winning 68% of the vote so far in Florence.
Right, yeah. And again, this is another place where in that 7th congressional district, this is sort of the hub of the population. But Florence, is no slouch. And Graham's benchmark here, we set at 64. And again, she's running 4 points above it in the early. So again, this is 7th congressional district, 3 places here where she's exceeding that benchmark, at least as of right now. And these are by far, this is the biggest, okay, followed by Georgetown and then Florence. But in all of them, she's running, again, 4 to 6 points above the benchmark.
I think we got our first election day in Anderson.
Yeah, okay.
So our first vote report, we had Norman up 55-45.
I can see what happened.
And the election day, Norman 50, Graham 50.
Bad news for Norman. He wanted 55 to go to 60. He wanted to beef that number up. Instead, look at that. He goes from a net 10-point lead on the early vote to a tie on the election day vote. And again, here's a place now you're in the upstate. And this is, Anderson's a big one. This is like, Anderson's going to be about 6% of the vote statewide is going to come out of Anderson County.
And we got some more Greenville. We had a small report earlier.
Yeah, her benchmark here is 42. 42, she's running at 46 in an upstate county that's 6% of the vote statewide, and she's doing better with the election day vote than the early vote. So, wow, that's another very big piece of news for her. You said we got more Greenville. Okay, so we think this is early vote.
Yeah, I think that's the early vote.
The early vote probably now is coming in Greenville. I'm not sure what that initial scattering was, and it's right at. Okay, here's I'm sorry. It's right at the benchmarks we established here were 68-32, 68 Norman, 32 Graham. And again, we think more votes here than any other county. But what do you notice, right? He's at his number in the biggest, and he's hoping his best county. He's running at his number right now. What's she doing down here? She's exceeding her number. What's she doing here? She's exceeding her number. What's she doing here? Here, exceeding. What did we just see? Even though Anderson County is a Norman County, what's Graham doing? She's exceeding her number. Okay, by doing that, she's putting pressure on Norman. He's got to exceed his number in places, and he's got to exceed it in big places. And there's no bigger place than Greenville County. 68%. The way things are going elsewhere is not big enough for him in Greenville County. And we're starting limited, but we're starting to get some signs, a real ominous sign for him. And what we just saw in Anderson County was that election day vote getting more Graham, okay, in his neck of the woods. He needs the election day vote in Greenville to push this number north of 70. And that, what we just saw there in Anderson and what we're seeing in some other places suggests that number might even come down from 68, or may not budge much from 68. She's putting pressure on him by exceeding benchmarks elsewhere so far that he's got to. And so far, 68 not good enough for him in Greenville. 16%
We got
in statewide.
A first election day report out of Pickens.
Yep.
So in the pre-election, that was Norman 57-43. In the election day, 62-37 or 38.
Now that is much more what Norman needs to be seeing. 60. Okay, right. He leads by 14, and then it brings it up to 24. A 10-point boost here in Pickens. Okay, and again, where does he? Just to give you a sense of this, what did we set as a benchmark here? For Graham, we set 43 here. Okay, Pickens, by the way, this could be about 3% of your vote statewide is going to come out of here. So that's right now, that's the best county I think we've seen for Norman in terms of just kind of size and exceeding benchmarks. Maybe his home county of York there. He's a couple points above what we would have put as a benchmark. So reset 16%, 54-46. Graham leading here. Big piece. This is a big piece of real estate. This is Spartanburg County. Okay, we've got nothing from here yet, but Spartanburg's 7-8% of the vote statewide. Again, the two biggest in the upstate are 1 and 2. These two, and then Anderson right behind. So Spartanburg's a big one we're kind of waiting on. What else are we waiting on here? That's really sizable. Richland County, right here, the state capital. Again, in a Republican primary, which this is going to be, this is like 4% of the vote. So these two are the big puzzle pieces we don't have anything from yet. And then and it's a small one that just came in, but we can show you Fairfield County. It's very, very small there. But again, that number is above. I'll tell you, that number is above the benchmark we set for Graham there. What can we expect in the two big ones to come in? This is where Graham's supposed to do very well. Richland County, I think, 60% is a benchmark for her. And so far, what she's seeing here in Lexington and what she's seeing in Aiken. She's maybe a little bit under what we expected there, but I'd expect her to be somewhere in the 60% range in Richland County when that comes in. And then what do you expect up here in Spartanburg County? This is where I think it's going to look, it's almost going to be identical. It just came in. Probably a little less than this. That's my guess. But 60, yeah, okay. So it's Norman 62, Graham 38 here with the early vote in Spartanburg. And Spartanburg is huge, as we've said, right? Key to Norman. What's the question, though, in Spartanburg is what are the benchmarks, okay? We said for Norman, going into the night, he wanted to have 66 here, and Graham wanted to have 34. She's running north. He's running south. So now we've got early vote from the two biggest counties right now. I think Norman was relying on coming into tonight. He's leading by big margins in both of them, but in each one, Spartanburg County right now, his early vote number is 4 points less than the benchmark we established for him. And in Greenville County, he's at the benchmark we established for him. And again, these aren't two ordinary counties. These may be the two of the most important in the state for Ralph Norman. And meanwhile, we're showing you several big counties in different regions of the state where Graham is exceeding her benchmark, okay? So if she's able to hold Norman to his benchmark or even short of it in what is supposed to be the heart of Norman country, okay, and she's exceeding it elsewhere. So again, we saw the declaration from our decision desk of Graham leading this race. That was probably about 15 minutes ago. There really hasn't been anything coming in since then to shake that, to call that into question. The best piece of news for Norman, it was a very small, limited piece of news, was the election day vote out of Pickens. He would need, though, now he's running a net 10 points better with the election day vote out of Pickens. He'd need something like that or bigger. I think bigger in Spartanburg, bigger in Greenville. I think some more just came in somewhere. Can you tell me, would something sizable just come in, Adam?
Nothing I saw sizable. We just got another 200 votes out of Lawrence County.
Okay, so we have some same day there.
Yeah, we have about 150 same day there, according to our.
Try it. What
yeah, so in the it was 55 Norman, 45 Graham.
Okay.
And now 60 Norman, 40 Graham.
So he's, okay, now this is two counties where he's 10 to 20. So we saw it in Pickens and we've seen it in Lawrence. There are now two counties where Norman's running a net 10 points better than his early vote. If he did the same in Greenville, right? If he won the remainder, he's leading this by basically 36 points. So if he won by 46 points, right? 73-27. How many votes are left in Greenville, do we think? Actually, let me do that. I put this thing together at the start of the night, and I talked this up to you. Do me a favor, Adam. I'm going to ask you to just give me some numbers quickly.
Yeah.
Just give me the Graham number in the following counties, right?
Yeah.
The Graham number currently in Horry.
In Horry, 73.
Okay, the Graham number in Georgetown.
68.
68. The Graham number in Florence.
68.
Okay, Lexington.
61.
61. We got, do we have Richland yet? No Richland. Give me the Graham number in Aiken.
62.
Okay. Give me the Graham number in the big ones, Greenville. There's 32?
32.
Yep. Spartanburg was what?
Spartanburg, 37.
Yep. Yep. Okay. And York?
32.
Okay. What big ones am I missing here?
Did we do Horry?
I got Horry. Anderson.
46.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So, I mean, again, just looking, this is very, very rough here, but I'm just kind of looking at, I keep telling you about these benchmarks, and now I'm kind of matching up what we're seeing so far in these places. And yeah, it pads, the benchmarks are designed for a 50-50 race statewide, and putting in, Beaufort. What was Beaufort?
Beaufort, 63.
Okay. Yeah, and just putting these in, it moves her north of that benchmark. Again, all these individual county benchmarks add up to 50 for Graham and 50 for Norman, we think, can be adjusted based on turnout. But now just putting in what I was just spitting out to Adam there, that moves her, at the current rate, that moves her ahead of Norman.
We did get our first few Election Day votes out of Spartanburg County as well.
Yeah. Okay, this becomes a huge question, yes.
Yeah, we got 1,800 raw votes there. It was 63-37 in the pre-election day vote, 63-37 in the election day vote.
Yeah, and this is a place where Norman really needs that number to go north. He really needs that number to go up. Okay, where else do we have election day vote?
I did see some more Ori come in. I know we've gone there a couple times.
How many votes do we have in Ori now?
We're up to 3,000 election day vote.
Okay, we were at 1,200, I think, before. So what are the numbers looking like?
So it was 73-27 in the pre, and it's 73-27 in the election
She's
day.
still at 73-27. And now we're at, and you said we have about 10% of the election day vote counted?
Yeah, that's our estimate.
Yeah, we're starting to get a decent size there. Do we have election day vote in Georgetown?
Let's take a look.
I think we do, because I don't think this came in at 30.
Yeah, about 400 votes here.
Yeah, how's this look?
In the pre, it was Graham 67, Norman 33, and in election day 73-27.
Yeah, this is, I mean, right. This is, this is the 7th congressional district. This is Fry, and this is, again, Trump's rally, right? So I think you're seeing a Trump effect there, a Trump campaign effect right there, Trump endorsement effect right there. Again, the demographic here tends to be very conservative. It's older, it's retiree, a lot of outer-staters. It's a very pro-Trump, older demographic here. So I think there was some thinking that the Trump endorsement would have its most effect down here, too, in this part of the state, which is so important to Graham, couple that again with the Fry endorsement. We have any same day in Charleston? No.
Our first same day in York County is coming in.
Okay, this is going to be interesting. What do you got?
About 600 votes. The pre was looking 68-32.
Yeah.
And it's 69-31 in the election day.
Well, wait, he's fallen under 68.
Well, there may have been an intermittent one with another early in person.
But was the 67 fractionally less than this? Was it like 67.6 or something?
Yes.
Okay, so the 69 pulls it to 67.9. Okay, that's a confusing way of saying no change.
Sorry.
No, that's me. That's not you. That's me.
We got some Charleston.
Yep. What do we got?
Okay, so we got 2,400 votes in this most recent update.
That looks like it was for Norman, but go ahead.
Yeah, so it was Graham 59-41 in the pre. Election day, it's running 54-46.
For
Graham.
Norman. Oh.
It was more favorable for him, but.
So 41 came up to 40. That's a pretty big jump. How many votes was it? We had such a small, I get it. It was like we more than doubled the vote with what just.
That's right.
I see, okay. Right, it was a very, very small early vote right there. Okay, so we're getting close to a quarter of the vote in statewide. Zooming out here, it's a 6-point lead for Graham. We're basically now getting same-day updates, or awaiting them. The one big outstanding piece of business here on the early vote is right there in Richland County. Again, this is Columbia, sort of suburbs of Columbia. 4-5% of the vote statewide is going to come out of there. Expect this to be, when that number lights up, to be a pretty big number for Graham, probably somewhere around 60% for her. So when that lights up, that will pad the lead that she has, statewide. We're also, this is going to be very small. We're waiting on votes from Williamsburg, Dorchester, a little bit bigger. Dorchester's also significant. I expect, when we don't have. So between Richland and Dorchester, right, early vote in both those places, I think when it comes in, I expect to be pretty pro-Graham. And so that would boost that number for her further. Where else are we looking? Small, this is, Allendale, I think, is the smallest in the state. Hampton County, Jasper County. So once those two come in, then we have a pretty complete, basically complete early vote picture with election day vote bleeding into it. So you can see that from the early vote, Graham is going to emerge with a clear advantage here over Norman. It's just about he just needs big numbers here in the election day vote. And when I say big, it's not piddling around the edges here. I mean, a couple of net 10-point shifts his way. He's going to need more than that. He's going to need more than that in big places. Someone else just came in. I saw the numbers change. Was there anything sizable?
We got another Sumter update and another Lawrence update.
Which was bigger?
Sumter. Let's go there.
Okay.
So Sumter, in our election day vote, we're up to about a third of our election day vote in.
Yeah.
It was running for the pre-election day vote. It was 68-32.
Yeah.
And the election day vote is coming in 66-34 for Graham.
Yeah. I mean, so okay. I mean, it has slid her number back a little bit. We're up to half the vote here. Norman needs bigger than this. He needs bigger than this. Again, 53-47. This is largely. This is largely early vote, but there is some election day vote in here, as Adam's been telling you. We're going to add in pretty soon, I think, some pretty big early vote numbers from these two places, smaller early vote numbers from the remainder here. That it's going to pad that margin for her. We're never going to get to a place where on this screen where we just have the early vote and you can see exactly how much the election day vote shift Norman needs. But you can see that the shift Norman's going to need is pretty sizable, especially given that we now have, like in a place like Horry County, right? So far, he's not getting it here. He's not getting any shift here in a county that accounts for 10% of the vote statewide. So if he's not getting any election day vote shift in his direction here, and I think we've done Georgetown, there's not much to speak of there for him. If that's not happening, then he needs even bigger shifts in other places. And, and so we've seen a couple where it's like a net 10-point shift his way. He needs bigger. He needs much bigger than that. We have no. I mean, it would have to be something monstrous here, monster number for him here. I think is what he needs. We've got a fair amount of election day vote in Spartanburg, even more than I think we had before.
Yeah, let me take a look. We're up to 5,000 election day votes in Spartanburg.
Right.
Norman's winning that 63-37.
So he won the.
It's the same margin, yeah.
Yeah, and we said, he wanted to be up. His target in this county was 66. His target was 66, kind of all things being equal, with Graham exceeding, especially down here, with Graham exceeding her benchmark. He needs more, and he is not getting it there. This is There's a reason it still says that.
Kershaw is the one I was looking at. We're at up to 70% of the vote there.
Yeah, okay, small, but what can you tell me?
Yeah, in the pre-election day vote, it was Graham 60, Norm 40,
yeah.
Norman 40, and it's 58-42.
These are small. He's nibbling around the edges here. I guess that's the expression. He needs to take big bites out of play. He's not nibbling around the edges. That's what you're seeing there from Norman. Quarter of the vote. And I'm looking at the clock here. Also, we are 2 minutes away from polls closing in Oklahoma. Unless there are some counties that, in honoring their Sooner forebears, go too soon with their results. How was that for? Sorry, I don't know. Sorry about that.
Forced.
Yes, it was. Horry is where we have the most election day vote, correct?
Yeah, I think so.
What would be number 2 on that list? Is it Spartanburg now? Probably is Spartanburg.
Yeah, I think it's Spartanburg, and I think we just got a little bit more in Spartanburg.
Yeah,
and we got more in Horry as well.
I can already see what we got in Spartanburg was better. The trend was better for Graham because he was at 63-37. So what is that election day vote now running at?
The election day pre-election day vote it's same right now. It's 63-37.
But I would say that last update was the trend was better for her because this was 63.0 and 37.0 when we last checked in, right? But it's incremental. I don't want to lose the forest for the trees. You said Greenville we got No, we didn't get Greenville.
Ori was the other one.
Oh, we got some more Ori. Okay,
Yeah.
They're pouring it on in Ori. What do we got?
Let me take a look. So election day is running 73-27, and it was 73-27.
We are just, and now how many election day votes are
about
part?
a quarter of our expected election day vote.
Yeah, this is, now we're getting a real sample here, and it has not budged. Her election day performance, Graham's, has not changed from her early. Remember we said at the start, that's a real good number for her if it holds. And now we've got a real, a real sample here of election day vote, and it is not budging. She is, Ori County is really coming through for her tonight. I feel we got more in Georgetown.
Yeah, I was looking at that one a second ago. Let me pull it up again. So the pre-election day vote is running 67-33 for Graham over Norman.
Yeah.
And it's 72-28.
Yeah. So, look at that. She's actually improving. So, Ori County, Georgetown right next door. Right now, the story is that corner of the state there, sort of northeast South Carolina, the PD, 7th Congressional District of Myrtle Beach, or whatever, that is really coming through for her. And I think look, we've said how much this is a test of Donald Trump. He really, folks were wondering in the runoff, would he back off Graham a little bit? I remember what had happened in the gubernatorial runoff here in South Carolina a couple months ago. He really doubled down on this, and he doubled down in particular in this area of the state. And it's unmistakable right now. This area of the state is really delivering for Graham. Other things are going right for her, too. And we just showed you, like in the upstate, Anderson County, I think is going better for her than expected. But this area of the state, and really Ori County, is delivering something very, very big for her. What else are we looking at here? I see it's, 8 o'clock, folks. I'm not going to, we always say we don't want to shift away, but I do want to put it up because now polls are closed in Oklahoma. This is the Republican runoff for governor here. This is the state attorney general, Gentner Drummond. This is Mike Mazzei. Shout if anything comes in South Carolina. I'll go right back, but I just want to set it up. Gentner Drummond, Mike Mazzei, former state senator. Just again, this is what it looked like in the preliminary here. Quarter of the vote basically for each of them. Gentner Drummond finished in first. Only 1,100 votes separating the two of them. You can see there were other candidates here as well. A lot of scattered vote here. The dynamics for this race, again, like South Carolina, we're talking about a test of Trump's clout. Trump has endorsed Mazzei and really doubled down on it during this runoff period. And more to the point, I think in a way we did not see in South Carolina when it came to how Trump handled Ralph Norman, really going after Gentner Drummond in this race too. And we've talked about that. We've in these broadcasts, one dynamic we think we might have seen this spring is that the power of the Trump endorsement. Sometimes it seems particularly strong when it's a negative endorsement, when it's I want you to vote against this person. And I think there's a little bit of that with how Trump has approached Drummond here. So it'd be interesting to see how that plays out.
We got some Lexington.
Yep. Yeah, so we're getting same day in Lexington now, you're saying. Yeah. Okay, talk to me about this.
So the election day came in 50.
Well, what was the
Sorry, the early was 61-38. Or 39, yes. 58, 42.
Right.
Yeah.
So from 22 to 16, and a lot more to come. But, we put a benchmark here for Graham of 61. So, if she continues to run at 58% the rest of the way, this is going to come down to like 59 and round up to 60. Close, to her benchmark. And again, if she's close, if she's within a point in Lexington, but she's running this far ahead of it in Ori County, which is bigger than Lexington in terms of the share of the vote here, that nets out to her advantage. Again,
we got some election day in Oconee as well.
Yeah. Okay. So what do we got?
So that in the pre-election day vote, Norman was winning that 55-45.
Oh, wow.
And now it's 50-50 in the election day vote that's come in.
And not even a consistent pattern here. Now the election day vote in the upstate, in this, I think next door in Pickens, right? Remember a few minutes ago we saw Pickens come in and we said Norman was doing a net 10 points better with the election day vote. Well, here he's doing a net 10 points worse. right next door, So he just, again, he needs, I keep saying it, big gains relative to Election Day, and he needs consistent gains. So, right there, one kind of wipes out the other so far. 30% in statewide. Graham's lead, 8 points, 8,800 votes. Still waiting on any kind of a report from Richland County, still waiting on any kind of report from Dorchester County. Those are the two biggest counties here where we don't have any reports so far. And again, in both of them, I certainly expect Graham to get big numbers when they come in, which would have the effect of further padding this 8,800, further padding this margin. Again, so much of this right now is let's see Greenville. Let's see Greenville. Because if there's any kind of a scenario here for Norman, he's going to just need, there needs to be flood turnout in the Election Day vote there in Greenville, and it needs to do something that we're not seeing in any of these other counties across South Carolina. It needs to leaps and bounds get better for him than it is. Because while 68 looks like an impressive number, and in some ways it is, it's sort of the bare minimum we established for him needing in this county tonight. And in light of what's happened outside of it tonight, he now needs more than that. 31% in statewide.
I got a note for you as well.
Yeah, okay, and we just got, something just came in that knocked it down. We
got another update out of Spartanburg, and it looks like Norman won this update. You want me to give you the cumulative number?
Yeah, let's just keep doing it as the default. Yep.
So the pre-election day vote was 63-37
Right.
for Norman, and it was 64-36 election day vote currently.
It is currently 64-36.
Exactly.
Yeah, so he's been able to, right now, with over half the vote in Spartanburg, and remember, this is probably 8% of the vote statewide, 7-8% of the vote statewide is right here in Spartanburg County. This is so key to Norman. He's been able to move it up a fraction of a point. There's really no difference here. And again, the number we thought he needed to get out of here was 66. You can miss your benchmark by a few points in a small county. A small rural county where there's only going to be 1,500 votes cast. If you miss your benchmark by 3 points, no big deal. You can make that. You miss your benchmark by 3 points in a place like Spartanburg County, that's real. And that's what's happening so far to Norman. Maybe he gets it up, maybe 64 continues to be the trend, and this number ends up at 64. He's still missing it by 2 points there. Again, given the other picture that's emerging everywhere else, that's a very big, that 2 points is a very big hit for him.
We got another election day update out of Charleston County.
Yeah, okay.
Pre-election was running for Graham 59-41. Election day is running for Graham 57-43.
Yeah, and I think that marks an improvement for her, if I'm not mistaken, from the last time we checked in on the Election Day vote here.
I think that's
As
right.
we've gotten more of the Election Day vote in Charleston, and 2/3 of what you're seeing here is Election Day vote, the numbers have stabilized more for her. So again, that's...
and most of this stuff is precincts from, different places around the county reporting in.
Right. Did we get more? We're still at 40 in Horry. Did we get more Georgetown? Am I imagining this? I think we
may have a little while ago. I just see some more Lancaster popping in.
We'll check there. We'll check there right after. Put a pin in that.
Yeah. So Georgetown, the pre-election day vote was running for Graham 67-33, and election day 70-30.
70-30. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Boy, that area has really come through here. You said Lancaster we got. Okay, yeah, we're at. Okay. 3/4 of the vote here. This is actually in Ralph Norman's congressional district, though in the preliminary, you didn't do that great here. Okay, take us through it. What's the split?
It was 50-50 in the pre-election day vote,
wow.
and it's 56-44 in election day.
Devastating number for Norman. His own district doing it to him there. A third of the vote, a little bit more in statewide. That Graham number now ticks up close to 10,000. Still without a report from Richland County, still without a report from Dorchester County. Both expected to give Graham big numbers that will further pad this.
We are seeing our first results out of Oklahoma, too, if you want to.
We do. Okay, I'm waiting on Scream if there's anything in Greenville, because I think that's potentially a decisive thing here. Okay, getting our first, a scattering of results here out of Oklahoma, 3% in statewide. We do have some from Tulsa County here, just a small amount. So let's just, in terms of the sort of the political geography here of what we're expecting tonight, this Oklahoma City metro area is probably going to give you about a third of the votes tonight. Wait, they're lighting up fast, a small, this Tulsa metro area, which is the definition is pretty sprawling geographically. That's probably going to give you about 30% too. So it's going to be about 60% of the vote between Oklahoma City, the broad metro area there, and Tulsa, the broad metro area there. Tulsa is where Mazie is from. He was a state senator until a decade ago, 04 to 16. It was close in both these places in the preliminary, but this was a little bit better for Mazie. In the Oklahoma City area, it was a little bit better for Drummond. Drummond is actually from a sort of storied family in Oklahoma. I think the biggest landowning family in the state, or ranching family. They own maybe is it a majority of the property in Osage County, something like that. This is where the sort of the base of the Drummond family is. Again, he's the state attorney general. In the preliminary, Mazie's best area was sort of down here. They call this region of the state Little Dixie. It was settled by Southerners. It has it's political. I think culturally, politically, it's more kind of connected to the South. Again, the Mazie did his best right here. Trump's backing, Trump doing very well in the South. That might be sort of some demographic sort of continuation there. This is sort of green country up here. It's very, very picturesque. What do they call this? Like the Little Great Plains. This is like the red carpet country. Again, this would be more like an extension almost of, like Kansas, of the plains here. Very distinct, I think, culturally and kind of demographically, this part of the state versus this part of the state. But again, Mazie did his best here. His base is here around Tulsa. And I think the big question tonight, starting to see a little bit here, Logan County, just a little bit. The big question to me has been this Oklahoma City metro area. It was very close between the two of them. A third of the vote is going to come from out of here tonight. How is that going to break, right? Like right here in Oklahoma County, this is, like 15% of the vote's going to come out of here. Canadian County, this is the fastest growing county of the state. Sprawling suburbs, exurbs, growing like lightning. Is that an expression? Outside of Oklahoma. Right here, Cleveland is very big. This is where Norman is, OU. Boomer Sooner, right? Again, Logan County is part of this. We have about 12% of the vote right here. It's dead even with what you got right there. So I think the big question to me coming in tonight was this. And again, Tulsa, that's just 8%, but Mazie did beat Drummond there by a small amount in the preliminary. And again, that was his base. But you zoom out here, and again, you're seeing what's coming in here down in this, that Little Dixie region right there. You see Mazie doing well there. Actually, do we have anything more in South Carolina?
Yeah, we're getting some more from around the state, some more, election day in Spartanburg and Horry and a few places.
Okay. Those are big. Let's not lose the main story here. Spartanburg, take me through it.
Yeah, so Spartanburg, we're up to about 60% of our expected election day vote.
Yeah.
In the pre-election day vote, it was running for Norman 63-37.
See, it's climbed, yeah.
And it's 65-35 for Norman.
Yeah, okay. He's inching his way toward what we said was the bare minimum for here of 66. Running at 64.5 right now.
I also noticed Cherokee County is just about all in there.
Yeah, okay.
In the pre-election day vote, it was running for Norman 57-43.
Yeah.
And the election day vote 62-38.
Yeah, and now here's one. When you get the benchmarks really come into play, when you get complete counties, not yet complete, but close. The benchmark we established for Graham here in her opponent's backyard was 39. She may finish at exactly 39. If that trend Adam described continues with this remaining vote, that might come down to 39. But again, she's exceeding it elsewhere. If she hits 39 in Norman's backyard, in the context of what's happening elsewhere, that's good news for her. What other counties do we have others where we're getting in that 75 to 100% range?
Anderson, I think, might be the biggest one now.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah. We're at 87% in Anderson County. And again, this is big. It's like 6% of the vote statewide. What's the benchmark we established for Graham here was 42. and she's running at basically 45% right here. This is one of those upstate counties where Norman wanted to win big. He's winning, but he's short of his benchmark, and he's running out of votes here. And again, missing benchmarks elsewhere. 41% statewide. The margin for Graham climbs. We're in the 5 digits now, 11,553. Something just came in that knocked it down 300. Where else are we in that 75 to 100% range?
Yeah, Pickens and York were the two that just came in. And Norman does well in both of those vote reports.
Okay.
Oh, we just got Richland.
Oh, okay. We've been hyping this one. Okay, we've got now. Is this all early vote, or do we have some same day? That's a high.
I think there's some same day voting.
Okay,
here.
they're mixed. So they're mixing it. That's why it took so long. I guess they were waiting to mix in early and same day here. Graham running 57%. We said she would want to get 60 here on a sort of all things being equal. So short of that, with that's the first real sizable place I think where I've seen her missing the way we've seen so far Norman missing some other places.
And the split there with the pre-election day vote is running 60-40 for Graham.
Right.
And 55-45 Graham over Norman in the election day.
Yeah, it's a 10-point shift. So we've seen a 10-point shift towards Norman. You said Pickens too. I guess we got more out of Pickens. A little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
How's that running? Because it was a 10-point shift in his favor before.
Overall, still about the same. So it was Norman 57-43, and now it's 58-42.
Let me ask you, and I don't mean to put you on the spot, and so it's I apologize in advance, but do you have an apples to apples places where we have cumulatively early vote, cumulatively election day vote?
No, I don't.
Okay, no problem. I did not ask ahead of time for that, so that is purely my fault. Okay, 44%, 54-46, 12-9-31. Did she? Something else I think just came in to boost her number. Oh no! Now he 800 just came off, so something for him just came in.
Spartanburg.
More Spartan.
He does well in this. Yeah, Spartanburg update.
Yeah. Okay. So the number we set for him now we can talk about this. We're at 3/4 of the vote in Spartanburg County. The number we set for Norman at the start of the night, we thought was about 66. He's running still 1.5 short of that. So that was a big batch for him there, but it's still keeping him under that number. Do me a favor. I'm going to go back to my trusty little program here that I've underutilized tonight. Can you, let me ask you two things. Has there been a change in the expected vote?
We're up to 375 now, so I think that's a little bit less than we came into.
It is. What's the expected vote in Greenville?
59,000 total.
Okay. I'm going to ask you a couple of these.
Yep.
What's the expected vote in Horry?
37.
Yep. Spartanburg?
25.
Okay. York?
18,000.
Charleston?
21,000.
Sorry, folks. I know this is fascinating television. Anderson?
14,000.
Yeah, that's the expected vote there now?
Yes.
Yeah, interesting. Okay, so that's also lower. That in Aiken?
Aiken, 11,500.
Okay. And now, again, I apologize to our viewers for the most boring television you're ever going to see. Give me the current Richland number. I just need the Graham number.
Graham's percentage, 47% for Darline Graham.
No, Richland.
57%.
Okay. And give me her number in, this great, give me her number in Lancaster.
Lancaster, 53%.
Yeah, okay, that's one. Right, okay. And do we have, give me Darlington. I'm sorry, that's small, but I wanted to.
67%.
Yeah. And Horry running at 73. Yeah, okay. 2 minutes till a News Now hit. Okay, we're going to do a News Now hit in 2 minutes. Did anything substantial come in while I was doing that little data entry?
No, nothing substantial.
Okay, I want to check in on Oklahoma because they're going to be coming to me for one of these News Now hits in 2 minutes. We do have some Oklahoma County coming in. Yep. You got Logan again. This is a big kind of vote hub in here. We got a little. This is Grady County. It's just a scattering. We got Tulsa right next door. It's going to be a big one. Wagoner, when you get that. This is Muskogee County. Proud to be an Okie from Muskogee. It's a place where even squares can have a ball. So statewide, Drummond 54-46. All right, they're coming to me in like a minute here. Is that right? Okay. 1 second as I check one thing here. Okay. Let's go back to South Carolina. We will check in on our friends in Oklahoma. I think it's a really the question here is becoming, we said Greenville can, I think we said this at the start of the night, Greenville can take a while, that election day vote. And maybe, I think Adam might have had the time that they gave us their election day vote in the preliminary, but that means we still don't have any election day vote. Was it?
I think it was about every hour at the half hour in the preliminary. So maybe in the next 15 minutes or so.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a very big moment, if that's budging at all. Again, the biggest place left right now where we don't have any, they're coming to me here in a few seconds, folks, is Dorchester, where again, I would expect Graham to pad her margin a little bit. I think they're going to be coming to us, folks.
Let's bring in Steve Kornacki on the big board to walk us through some of the results that we've been seeing so far. South Carolina, Steve, what's it looking like?
Yeah, look, if you're Darline Graham, you're feeling cautiously optimistic right now. Is that what they say? You could see NBC News. It says our declaration right now is that she is leading right now with about half the vote in statewide. You see her margin over Congressman Ralph Norman is sitting there at about 6 points, about to 7 points right now. A big thing that we're waiting, two things I could tell you, in fact. First of all, what's going right for Graham tonight is she has put up truly monster numbers down here in Horry County. This is a very big county. It's where Myrtle Beach is. It's like 10% of the vote statewide. Let me just show you what Horry County looks like. She's running at 73% of the vote right here. That's a lot better than expected, I think. And it may not be a coincidence because a big part of her campaign, obviously, was running with the endorsement of Donald Trump, with his backing. And Trump made an appearance in South Carolina last Friday on her behalf. Where did he go? He went to Myrtle Beach. Her campaign, Trump White House, they were targeting this area, Myrtle Beach, the 7th congressional district. And one thing that we've seen tonight is that Graham's numbers have been better than expected, certainly there in Georgetown County next door and throughout this region of the state, again, that was targeted by Trump for that visit. So that's going right for her tonight. There are some other places we could show you sort of in the suburbs of Columbia there, even in the upstate around Anderson County, where she's exceeded expectations, and she's really got Norman on a defensive right now. And I think the big outstanding question increasingly now with half the vote in statewide is this. It's this county right here, Greenville County in the upstate. This is the biggest in this. This is the biggest vote-producing county in the state. You can see Norman is leading it right now. Only 12% of the vote is in right now. Now you're looking at that and you're saying, that's a big number for Norman. He must be feeling good. Well, he's not, because things have not gone great for him elsewhere tonight, meaning he needs a bigger number than this out of Greenville. He probably needs a significantly bigger number out of this out of Greenville. And what we're waiting on, this 12%, is just the early vote, the vote that was cast before Election Day. What he needs to have any chance here, when they start tabulating out and releasing the vote that was cast today in person, he needs it to look different. He needs it to be even more heavily pro-Norman than 68-32. He needs it to be significantly more pro-Norman. That's what he would need to do to have a chance of wiping out what's gone right for Graham elsewhere in the state tonight. So that's the picture, right there. I think, again, if you're Graham, you're liking pretty much everything that you've seen so far. That's the big outstanding piece of the puzzle.
Yeah, let's see if that trend holds. Steve Kornacki, thank you. Let's bring in Ryan Nobles, who's out in Columbia.
Okay, thank you. I got to blow my nose. It's dripping like a faucet. Okay, and Adam, did anything come in there?
Yeah, Lexington County was the one. We got additional 5,000 votes out of Lexington. I believe that was election day vote.
1 second.
Greenville just came in. Election day vote.
Okay, this is it. Okay, yeah, we can already see it didn't change much, right? Just tell us, just skip to it right away. What was the election day vote? Because we knew
68-32.
the exact same. 68-32. Wow. It was 68-32 in the early, and it's 68. Remember, this was 12%. Just 90 seconds ago, 12%. So now we've got a huge, huge chunk of the election day vote in Greenville, in the upstate, in Norman's neck of the woods here. And he's still, it tightens this thing. It knocks that Graham margin in half, okay? But it keeps him at 68, okay? So, and that moves us up now to 60% of the vote or so statewide. All right, so how much we could start to, and we are still waiting on our first batch of early vote in Charleston County, and we are still waiting next door in Jasper, not next door, but in the same area, Jasper County. Again, I would expect both of these to be, all of these to pad Graham's number when they come in, but Dorchester is the big one. We don't have any early vote. And then we're just looking at the rest of the election day vote here. So again, if you were to get the early vote filled in on all of these right now, that Graham number would go up further, and then we'd be left looking at the election day vote. I maybe one way to look at it is this: how much vote now remains in Greenville County?
Another 32,000 is our current estimate.
Okay, so yeah, if it was Norman could net 22, could net 12,000 at this rate. Norman could net 12,000 more out of Greenville. I think someone else just came in. Could net 12,000 more out of Greenville, and then Spartanburg. Okay, there's not much left here, huh? How many votes do you think are left here?
Maybe 3,500, according to our estimate.
Yeah, so he might net another 1,000, 1,200 out of here. So between the two biggies that we've identified for Norman, let me just zoom this out. How do you do this? Statewide, right? Between those two biggies, maybe 13,000 he could net, right? How much is left in York County?
8,000.
Right, and he's getting about 70%, 68% right there?
In York County?
Yeah.
Yes.
55, 25,
Yep.
he'd net about 3,000, so that could be 16,000, right? And that would, okay, how much is left? There's nothing left in Anderson, right? There's almost nothing left in Anderson.
No, we're close in Anderson.
Yeah, he could,
3,000.
he could net some more. These are the smaller counties in the upstate. He could net a little bit more, but what I'm getting at is how much is left in Horry County?
Horry, 16.
16,000, and Graham is getting like almost 3/4 of the vote. 73%. So 16, so that'd be about 12,000 to 4,000. I mean, again, let's say she could net 7,500 more just out of Horry. I mean, so just, you could do the math. The big stuff that's left, there's a clear line. It's just the upstate. The only places where Norman's leading is the upstate. So these are presumably now, these are the only places where he's going to be netting votes, right, the rest of the night. So in the big ones that are left there, we're saying maybe he could net an additional 16,000 or so. That's a 1/6, okay? If you just on the spot gave him a net 16,000, right, he'd pull into the lead by 10,000 in the tally. But with what's left in Horry County, again, where Graham is getting almost 3/4 of the vote, she's probably going to net another 7,500. So right away, he does all that work in York, in Spartanburg, in Greenville especially, and then in one fell swoop with Horry, she knocks that down to 2,500, right? And then tell me, how much is left in like Lexington County?
10,000.
10,000, and she's winning at 60-40.
And one flag from our team at the decision desk as well, that Greenville estimate was the one we came into the night with and was aggressive
Yeah.
And so it's possible that there's not 32,000 even remaining out of Greenville.
That's
It's
right.
possible it's a lot less.
That's right. That's the other thing. I mean, I remember when I saw our estimates of the county by county vote coming into tonight. That's look, we make estimates. The best they get adjusted during the night. That's part of the process, right? I did think, wow, that's a real high number. It can happen. It can mean surge, flood, turnout. But even allowing for that right now, what I was getting at there was, 16, right? Now, what just came in?
We got another 5,000 votes out of Ori.
Yeah, okay. And
Margins looking very similar election day and pre-election vote.
okay, but something came in that was favorable to Norman, something substantial, because it got under 10,000. Oh, no, I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry, I got that all wrong. Right, so I'm sorry, did this come in well? How much is left in Ori? I'm talking circles here.
10,000 is our current estimate.
This had come in before that happened, right? So we think there's 10,000 left. She's winning 3/4 of it. That means she can net an additional 5,000 out of here. So if she nets an additional 5,000 out of here, right, you're basically then she's running at about 15,000 votes ahead of Norman statewide. And we just said if you extrapolate the 68-32 he's getting there, if you extrapolate what's left here, extrapolate what's left here, he could net about 16. So he would kind of wipe that out. But then again, there's a lot of vote to come here in Lexington, in Aiken, in Richland. There's a lot of vote to come in these places, and she's winning all of them big right now, right? There's a lot of vote to come out of Charleston County. She's winning that, 57-43. There's a lot of vote to come out of Beaufort. There's a lot of population hubs left on this map where she's just going to continue netting votes, right? So again, if the current estimated total vote in Greenville is correct, and Norman continues to win it at this rate, right? Again, he probably nets 12,000 more votes out of there. And he nets another couple thousand out of here, maybe 1,500 or so out of here, right? And it probably adds up to about 16,000. And maybe you want to say across the rest of the upstate, maybe it comes up to about 20,000. Maybe he nets about 20,000 across that region, right? And again, that would put him if you just gave him a 20,000 net dump right now, he'd be up 10K statewide. And then we just, right there, she knocks, a giant chunk of it out right there. By the way, Georgetown, she's running great election day in Georgetown, right? In these 3 counties, right? So there's a lot of votes there. I'm sorry. There's just a lot of votes there for her. It's 52-48 statewide, but we haven't seen in these big counties outside the upstate, correct me if I'm wrong, Adam, we don't see any of the substantial counties south of the upstate where she's losing the election day vote.
Yeah, that's right.
And tell me, like in Aiken County, what's the election day vote running at?
Aiken, 62 for Graham, 38 for Norman.
She's winning it by 24 points. How many votes do we think are left in Aiken?
3,700.
Right, 740. That would be about 850. She'll probably, at that rate, out of Aiken County, net like 850 votes, almost 1,000 votes, just out of what's left in Aiken, right? Lexington County. How much do we think is left in Lexington?
Lexington, 10,000.
10,000. Is she winning the same day, roughly 60-40?
Yes, it's 58-42.
Okay, so she could net 1,600 out of there, So it's basically between Aiken and Lexington, she can net 2,500. 2,500. So you see these pockets where this is happening. You just go through it. Beaufort County, what do we think is left here?
9,500 expected remaining. Election days running 63-37 for Graham.
Yeah, so she'll net 2,000 and change just out of Beaufort County, right? 4,500. She did roughly 4,500. What's left in Charleston?
9,000.
And what's she running the election day at?
57-43.
Yeah, so she nets, again, 1,300, votes or so, out of that. So it just, you could see how this just adds up, one county after another. We got Georgetown. There's votes still to come in Georgetown. So, and then meanwhile, again, you just go across the upstate. We took you through York. We took you through Spartanburg, where they're getting close to done in Spartanburg. Take you to Greenville, where we say there's 47% in, We're still 53% to come. But again, I'm curious if that expected vote. Adam said this will happen sometimes. You've been watching these, We go into the night with an estimate. Sometimes the estimate was a little bit on the heavy side, and it comes down. I think the only thing that happens in Greenville with the estimate is it either stays where it is or it comes down, because it was a very, very high estimate relative to the rest of the state going into it. Pickens, we're basically done in Oconee County. When you see 95%, it means we're basically done. And here we set a benchmark at the start of the night for Graham to be getting 47, and she lands at 48 here. It's not a huge deal in and of itself, but in the context of what else we've seen, it is. Anderson County, closing in on 90 on complete in Anderson County. And again, Norman's done better here as the election day votes come in, but we set a 42-point threshold for Graham here. She's running about 1.5 points ahead of that. Again, this is in Norman's neck of the woods here. Do we have any? We have no more from Richland. We have no more here. No more here. What else? What's was reset to the statewide 10,686. Actually, this would be a good question. Yeah, Lawrence. We think Lawrence is in. We're basically, this could be all. Graham's at 40.9. We set 41. I mean, so again, these are right at. Nothing here though has Norman exceeding. That we're seeing, and I think that becomes the question. Newberry, small, but I think this was the first number we got tonight, or one of the first, and we've had nothing since. How's that? Funny how that works. Abbeville, we got getting close to everything here. Again, small relatively, but we set 47 as a benchmark for Graham there, 49. 81 in Pickens. See if that gets closer to 90, we'll take a look. But yeah, where else is Union County? We're basically small. We're basically complete here. We set a benchmark for Graham at 35. Again, these aren't overwhelming. She's not exceeding it by overwhelming margins, but she is down there in Horry County. She is down there in Georgetown County. And we're at 2/3 statewide. 10,725 is the Graham margin here. Over Norman. We said, again, we showed you this a minute ago. York County, 66-34. I think we just did this, but just refresh me and our audience. The election day vote in New York is running how?
66-34 for Norman.
What was the early here? 65-35?
68-32.
So it came down a tick. So it's two, again, whatever. It's the same, basically. It's 2/3. And how much do we think is left in New York?
8,000.
Right. So if he wins, 2/3 of that, 2,700 votes, 25, 26, 27, somewhere in there, he nets about 20. Yeah.
We did get another 1,000 votes out of Spartanburg County as well. And he wins that batch 65-35.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, he's right. Again, we said he wanted to be 66 at a minimum here, and he's just closing in on 65. Still some votes to come right there. 11,748. I think she just got a favorable update somewhere.
Yeah, Charleston County.
Yeah, tell me about it. Oh, we got a lot that just came in there, I think.
Yeah, let me take a look.
Looks
the cumulative election day running. We have about 75% of our election day vote there. She's winning 57-43 for the election day vote, and it was 59-41 for the pre-election.
Yeah. So slight slippage. And I'm sorry, how many votes are left now, do you think, in Charleston?
Charleston, 5,000.
Yeah, okay. So if she's winning by about 14 points, she could net still 700 or so votes, out of Charleston at that rate. I kind of think we could just go through these and just kind of, how many votes are left in Newberry County?
Newberry, 3,700.
Yeah, I mean, but if it runs like this, he's going to net 200 votes. At this current rate, he would net 200 votes. Norman would out of Newberry County. Lawrence, we think we might be done. Greenwood, what's left in Greenwood?
2,000.
Yeah, I mean, 2,000 if he's winning it by 5 points, 100 votes. So maybe he nets between these two counties, 300. We think Lawrence is done, potentially. Anderson, tell me again, we're close to there on Anderson, right?
Sorry, what was the question?
We're close to done on Anderson, right?
Yes.
What's left there?
About 2,000 votes is our estimate.
And what's it running
precincts. The election day vote is running 57-43.
At 2,000, right? So again, maybe 300 votes here. Oconee is done, right? Pickens, we got about 20% left. How many votes are left in Pickens?
Pickens, 3,000.
3,000, and what's it running at?
59-41.
So we'll call it 20 points. So that's 600. Okay, and then Greenville, the biggie, and we have the big question here on what the expected vote. But use what we got. What's left? Do we think?
32,000.
32,000, and he's winning at 68-32, basically 2/3. So say it went, 22,000 to 10,000. That's 12K. Okay. Spartanburg, what's left?
Spartanburg, 2,000.
Yep. And he's winning it about 2-1, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So 700. 1356. Say he nets 700. Okay.
We just got another Jasper County. We're about all
we
in
finally
there.
got. Yeah. That was. And that boosted. That was one of the outstanding pieces. I just want to complete the upstate here.
Yep.
Quickly, if we can. Cherokee.
Sorry. Cherokee, we're about done there.
Yeah, done. And I think we're done in Union too, right? Yeah. We want. Okay. Yeah. They want to. Okay. And then just quickly, we're almost there. Chester.
Chester. About done there.
Okay, and then how much is left in New York?
York, 8,000.
8,000, and he's winning it, again, we said about, call it 2-1, right? So we say that's 2,700 here. So 14,700, 15,400, 16. So he could, I mean, let's say he nets, in the places he's leading with what's left, I think Norman could realistically net about 16,000 and change, 16,500. In other words, it would be, with what's left in the places he's winning, he could wipe this out and then be ahead by less than 1,000 votes. Call it 1,000 votes. That's realistically what he can do with what's left here. And then, as we've been saying, she's killing it here. She's killing it here. She's doing well here. She's doing quite well in here. She just got Jasper. Population centers, population hubs, where, again, they're going for Graham basically as much in the election day as they did in the early. There's lots of votes out of here. So that margin that she's got, right, that's her pad right now. What she's got is her pad probably for what's left in the upstate for Ralph Norman. And then if that were to all come in at once right now, I bet it would put him up by about 1,000 votes in the statewide tally. And then all this would fill in. All the election day vote in all these places I've circled would come in, plus a scattering in the other places, and that would build right back up for her. That's what it looks like from this vantage point. Now, keep that on. We're going to do an update here on News Now. There's a call in Georgia, which reminds me that there's an election in Georgia, and I'm going to take a look for the first time and see what's happening. Now, the reason I know these are serious matters here. Neither one of these candidates is running for the full term. This is just to finish up a couple months. One of them ran for the full term and lost in the primary. The other didn't at all. But let's just take a look anyway. This is the Atlanta burbs here. We've called it for Everton Blair. So Gwinnett County came through. Everton Blair is the former school board chairman from Gwinnett County. It's the biggest single piece of this district. Not surprisingly, then, in his backyard, he runs up a nearly 40-point margin over Marcy Scott. She's the daughter of the late Congressman David Scott, who, again, she wins elsewhere here, but not by significant enough margins. A little bit of DeKalb is in this too, just a scattering. And it adds up to Everton Blair, who ran in the primary for the full term and lost, but he also ran for this special election. This will put him into Congress for the special election. And again, he will serve a couple of months. There have been shorter congressional terms, but there have been plenty of longer ones. But Blair will get to have one anyway. I think they're coming to me on this, I believe.
.net. And it looks like things are heating up down there in South Carolina, or Georgia at least. NBC News projects Everton Blair wins Georgia's 13th congressional district special election, beating out Marcy Scott, the daughter of the late Congressman David Scott. Let's bring in Steve Kornacki at the big board to walk us through the results. Steve, is this a surprise?
Not particularly, and I just did. What happened here was Gwinnett County is the biggest piece of this district here. Gwinnett, one of those big suburban Atlanta counties. Everton Blair was the former school board chairman there, and he basically just got a very, very big number out of Gwinnett and then kind of survived Scott's strength elsewhere. So Blair will win this, but I think the key thing to keep in mind is this is a very short-term congressional career that Everton Blair is about to launch. This is a special election to fill the final months of the late David Scott's term. The full term that will be settled in the November election, Blair lost in the primary for that, and Scott didn't even run in the primary for that. So Blair is going to get to go to Congress. It's only going to be for a few months. And you mentioned, too, that's the news out of Georgia. Go north to South Carolina, where, just to update you there now, 75% of the vote is in, and something big just came in for Graham. What was that?
That was Berkeley County.
We just got Berkeley County in there for Graham. So again, like this is, right here. This is a very big piece of real estate, relatively speaking, that just came in here outside Charleston, sort of a fast-growing area. You can see Graham is crushing it there. That's just about all the vote right there. She's opened up now this is a very strong lead here of 18,600 over Norman statewide. And she's just, look, Norman has done well up here in the upstate. His congressional district is based right here in York County, where Rock Hill is. He's extended his support across the upstate, as we expected. But Graham, first of all, didn't get buried up here as much as I think some of her supporters maybe had feared. And more to the point, especially here around Myrtle Beach, Georgetown County, places that were targeted by her campaign and by President Trump, her champion sort of in this race. Boy, have they really come through for her tonight. She's also done quite well here in the suburbs where the state capital is. And again, so really everything outside the upstate to some degree has gone right for Graham tonight. That's an awfully big pad that she has right now over Norman relative to what is left in this race.
Yeah, 18,000 difference and 76% reporting. Steve Kornacki, we'll see if that trend continues. Thanks so much. We'll be right back after the break.
Got it. Thanks a lot. And all right, again, just coordinating logistics here. So yeah, look, that was we were running through all that math just before, and what just happened it reinforces it times X. Did anything else come in the upstate, Adam, in that time?
We got another update from Orangeburg, another 2,000 votes.
Okay, but nothing from up here.
No, sorry, nothing from up there. That was just our biggest vote. Again,
just to drive the point home clearly for folks, just like we think that what's left here is probably worth a net of about 16,000, give or take, for Norman. You can see that he is now down by more than that. He's down by 18,600 in the state count. And we've just been going through all of these different bigger population areas here where there's still vote to come. All of them are Graham red right now. And in all of them, she's basically running it's the election day vote that's being tallied in all of them. She's running as well, generally, with the election day vote as she did with the early vote. So it's just every update that comes in south of this line is padding that Graham margin. And we're telling you about votes left in Horry County, votes left in Georgetown County, votes left in Beaufort, votes left, in Aiken and in Lexington, in Richland, maybe even in Charleston. And we didn't even tell you about like Berkeley. Berkeley, the fast-growing sort of, bedroom communities, whatever you call them, outside Charleston right there. And that came in. And that just gave her a giant chunk of new plurality over Norman. And so just from what Berkeley came in, she pushed it over. Again, if you accept the rough back-of-the-envelope number we've come up with here of 16,000 that he's going to net out of here, just with what came in Berkeley, she moved ahead of that number. Again, we expect program updates still to come in these these are all bigger population counties here where we still expect pretty sizable program updates to come in. Something small-ish just came in that knocked it down a little. What was that?
We got another Spartanburg update.
Is the
there.
upstate, right.
Yeah.
So again, it's just that the only places where Norman gains ground are in the upstate, so we got a little more Spartanburg, and that could take us to everything there is in Spartanburg. And, again, we said at the start of the night, all things being equal across the state, Norman wants to hit, 66% here. He's running at 65.5, but all things aren't equal right now statewide because Graham has exceeded her numbers in other places, exceeded her expectations in other places. And so, again, that just takes that math we were just doing about, Norman maybe could get 16,000 or so more, out of the upstate. Most of that is in Greenville, by the way, where we're not even completely sure there's that much vote left. There could be, but we want to, that expected vote could even, potentially shrink there. So let's take a look over anything that comes in, Adam, please, in South Carolina. Scream. I do want to just kind of take a little update here in the Oklahoma governor's race. And wow, this one is looking as close as that preliminary did, right? And again, they report out here what you were seeing in a lot of those counties. We checked into this a little while ago, was early vote first, then election day vote. We're now up to a quarter statewide. We've got something from every county. I'm just going to take us through here. I've got some benchmarks here for Drummond. Maybe we'll, and again, you choose one candidate to do the benchmarks for. It just makes it easier to do the whole thing. Oklahoma County, this is basically the biggest in the state, that and Tulsa, Oklahoma City and Tulsa. Again, this is only 12% here, okay? But just to give you a sense, thought Drummond wanted to win this, wanted to get about 52% of the vote right here. Next door in fast-growing Canadian County, this is the fastest-growing county in Oklahoma. Also figured this should be a Drummond win. 52 would be a target for him here. Again, just narrowly at that. Let's take a look over in Tulsa. Only 9% right here. And again, you get early vote that gets reported out first. Mazie wants to win this. I don't have to win it necessarily big, but I said we wanted to use Drummond as the benchmark. So the Drummond benchmark here would be 48. He'd be exceeding that. Now, early vote, maybe that early vote, this could be a state where you really do see a split between early vote and election day vote, because there's clearly a Trump-aligned candidate, and there's clearly a candidate that Trump wants to beat here in this race. So keep that in mind. But Tulsa, we got Wagner County. This is big, right? A little bit of Tulsa bleeds into this. Tulsa suburbs. Again, I think a number here for Drummond would be 48. But is that going to shift as more vote comes in right there? Not surprisingly, seeing Mazie run up big numbers in these small little Dixie counties right here. I'm just looking at sort of some of the numbers here and lining them up with maybe a little bit. I don't want to say it yet, but maybe a little bit short of if you're Mazie. Latimer, we're getting small. Now he's right at. Mazie's right at. This is the closest thing to a complete county. It's tiny. Too soon to really characterize that. Let's go back to South Carolina, where we could be sitting on something more decisive in the near future here. And
we just got a Charleston update as well.
Yeah. Okay. What do you have here?
So we got another 5,000 votes there. It looks like that's that brings us to 95%. I'm sure we'll do another check there to see if there's any more votes.
Yeah.
But the election day finished up there, or is running at 56-44 for Graham.
And what it did was that padded her margin there. But what was that last update for her? About 800 votes?
Yeah, and I think it would take it back to
and
the
there
total.
it is. NBC News has made the declaration. NBC News projects that Darline Graham, the appointed senator, will win the special election runoff for the Republican nomination. Graham defeating Congressman Ralph Norman this evening. 78% of the vote is in. Graham really has led this race tonight from the very first update. And the story that emerged was a pretty stark divide between Norman's base here in the upstate, where he did well tonight, but he didn't post the kind of overwhelming surge numbers that I think his candidacy maybe depended on. And meanwhile, in the rest of the state, Graham generally, in many key places, exceeding expectations. And I think that was absolutely, especially the case here in Horry County, where Myrtle Beach is. This is the second biggest vote-producing county in a Republican primary here. And look at the number that Graham is getting. She's winning almost 3/4 of the vote in Horry County. And right next door, you can see it's sort of sister county here, Georgetown County. She's doing something similar here. Massive, massive margins for Graham in these two Republican vote-rich counties. And not a coincidence, probably, because Donald Trump, who recruited her into the race and who doubled down on his endorsement in the runoff, where did he go to campaign for Graham? It was right here in Myrtle Beach. And that, more than any other place you see on this map tonight, is where she's exceeded expectations and where she really put Norman on the defensive as this map filled in tonight, where he really needed to overperform in the upstate, and he just didn't. So he gets close in this thing. He gets relatively close to knocking off Graham in the runoff, but he is going to fall short. That margin now close to 20,000 votes. And there's going to be a News Now update. Is that what we're? Okay, and folks, News Now wants the news, of course, so they're going to come to us in about 75 seconds. We're going to do a very official sounding. We'll do it a little casually, but we'll go through what we're talking about here, and then we'll kind of reset on the other side. Just looking at the clock right here. And so I don't want to do too much here because we're coming inside of a minute to this update. So I don't know. It's like a filled out election map is like a work of art. So maybe I'll just let you kind of enjoy the. This is like being in the. Is the Whitney an art museum?
Yes.
Okay. You're in the. I've never been, but I know they got a. We're in New York, and I know people talk about. Well, there's the Met.
The Met. MoMA.
Are they rival museums?
They're all, yes.
Which is better?
The Met. I like the Met.
Okay, so pretend you're at the Met and you're in the political cartography section. And here's another, they're wheeling this one in now, brand new, hot off the presses. I'm killing time till this update comes in, folks. Very, very bad at it. They're about 15 seconds from here. I'm gonna have a glass of water while we do this. Couldn't have done that.
And NBC News projects Senator Darline Graham wins the South Carolina Senate primary special runoff election against Congressman Ralph Norman, replacing her late brother, Senator Lindsey Graham, in the November ballot. She's now going to be facing off against Democrat Annie Andrews in November. Let's bring in Steve Kornacki on the big board to walk us through those results. Steve, we saw them developing here. Lots of big numbers coming in over and over again for Darline. What'd you see?
Yeah, look, I think you look at this map, and I think one thing that jumps out right away is we said coming in, this was a test of the political clout of Donald Trump with the Republican electorate. And I think you can make an argument here that Trump put Graham over the top in this race, because not only does she win tonight, obviously, but if you look at where that win came from, it came from places like Horry County, where Myrtle Beach is, and where she's getting nearly 3/4 of the vote tonight, right next door in Georgetown County. This is another pretty big county. She's getting nearly 70% of the vote right here. And then all through, they call this region here in northeast South Carolina, the PD region. It's the 7th congressional district if you're sort of a political a political hobbyist and you follow these things. But this was the area and this was the region that the Trump folks really targeted. They sent Trump here last Friday trying to shore up Graham's campaign, and they sent him to Myrtle Beach. That's where the big Trump rally was for Graham. It was all about trying to maximize her number in Horry County, which is one of the biggest in the state, and in this whole area right here, in Georgetown County and in the PD. And what you see in county after county there tonight is that is where Graham didn't just meet her expectations, didn't just meet her benchmarks, she exceeded them tonight. And that is why, when you take a look at this map, you do see Norman strength up here in the upstate. And there's an awful lot of Republican votes in Greenville, in Spartanburg, in the Rock Hill area. That's where Norman is from. But he did good numbers here. He didn't exceed expectations here. Graham exceeded them down here. Norman didn't up here. And I think that's the difference statewide. And that's why she's going to get through this runoff.
172,000 people voting for her and 150 for Ralph Norman. Again, like voter turnout, pretty impressive, at least to me here. Any idea how things are possibly going to go when it comes to the midterms after 4 elections? I imagine election fatigue is in effect there.
Yeah, I mean, we'll have to see. But I think one thing we can say certainly is that Graham, yes, she will now face a Democratic opponent. But the backdrop for this is it's in a state that voted for Donald Trump by nearly 20 points. And we just live in this age of this sort of intense party polarization. To have a state that voted for one party's presidential candidate by that much, turn around and elect a United States senator from the other party, it honestly is pretty much unheard of these days. So Graham, certainly, I think this was the test for Graham.
Yeah, and it looks like she passed. We'll see what happens in November. But again, those numbers are pretty impressive. Steve Kornacki, really appreciate you. Thank you so very much at the big board.
All right. Thank you, Gotti. Thank you to the News Now folks, as always, who have kind of accommodated us on that. Let's catch our breath here, Adam. Let me... So my spreadsheet, my much ballyhooed spreadsheet, I can.
Did it work out?
So it landed at, with my little partial things, it landed at Graham 51.7, Norman 48.3. So
Not bad.
we'll see when that is fully complete. I wanted to check.
Yeah, we did get another Greenville update. That was
So are we? Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, that's worth checking in on.
so.
And he actually fell under. What did you? 65-35, something like that. Was that what it was?
Yeah, it was 21,000 votes.
Yeah.
I don't have it open right now, but
I wonder if that was the, I wonder if that was the, what triggered the call. Did that come in right before the call?
no, it just came in while you were doing that hit. It was 67.
Oh, and they just went to 95. Oh, and if I saw that right, we just 47.
Yeah, I think they adjusted the.
That's
vote
the other
there.
thing. So
Yep.
I don't know if folks caught that. Maybe if you're streaming, you can rewind it like 20 seconds. These numbers did not change, right? And then this just jumped up from whatever it was, 78 something to 95. That's what we have been talking about for the last 45 minutes with that question of, wow, that expected vote in Greenville was awfully high. Now, maybe there was surge turnout there today, but it can be adjusted as we get a better sense of what actually happened. We'll often adjust our expected vote. We were wondering if it was going to come down in Greenville. And when you see that, when these numbers don't change, but this expected percent in does suddenly jump up, that's what it means. It means they have revised downward what the expected vote was. And in the case of Greenville, when you hit 95, that means we think that's probably it. So we think Greenville's going to land at, that's about 48,000 votes, 48,000 votes and change cast there. We came into the night wondering if that number was going to be closer to 60,000. And again, that was one of the things coming into tonight when you were looking at a potential path to victory for Norman in this race. That was one of the things you said, that's what he would need, because again, this is his region, big numbers, giant turnout, right? And what did we see tonight? We saw what on any average night would be good numbers, for Norman here, but he didn't get the huge turnout in a place like Greenville. And again, he needed more than good numbers, given what was happening. I keep saying it there in Horry County and elsewhere, but is that a...
Yes.
Yeah, okay, a little housekeeping here, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means. I can't read your writing.
Sorry, I was just trying to do a check.
Oh, I see. Okay, I'm sorry. All right, folks. No, we're trying to. It has nothing to do with the vote totals or anything like that. I know people are. This is just we're coordinating logistics here. Okay, so let's just peek in here at Oklahoma, where we're at 40%, and we've got. This is just like that preliminary. Drummond won the preliminary over Mazie by 1,100. He's leading this by 1,500. Let's see if we can just take a quick check here. Obviously, it is too early to call.
We do have some places where some counties where we're getting, the pre-election day split.
Yeah, what's a big county where we're seeing that?
Cleveland County.
Yeah, okay, that's a big one. Okay, go ahead. This is where Norman, Oklahoma is.
Drummond was winning the advance vote 53-47. The election day vote with 10,000 votes in is falling 50-50.
Okay. How much how much was so you said 10,000, so we had about 4,000 early votes.
That's right.
Right, so what was that, about 15% of the total? This is a lot like South Carolina. It's going to be about
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah. Okay. So, but where did we think? I got my little crude benchmarks here, and kidding me, I didn't write this one. Of all the counties, not to write down, but I have my spreadsheet. Let me get my spreadsheet out, and I will.
They are adding a characterization to this race as well.
Yeah.
Too close to call.
Okay. Yeah, Cleveland, the Drummond benchmark that I kind of set here was 51. And again, these benchmarks are like kind of a 50-50 race statewide. 51, running at 50.8, and then Adam says the election day vote is currently 50-50. Holy cow, that's right on the number. Where else do we have? So we got 60 in Cleveland. Where else do we have substantial vote? That's a big county.
Tulsa County?
Yeah, okay. We've got, okay. Do we have an election day, same day split here?
Yes.
Yeah,
so
this is going to be interesting.
Pre-election day vote was running for Drummond 55-45.
Yeah.
And the election day 52-48.
For
Mazie.
Mazie. So Mazie,
Yes.
Yeah, it's a 14-point swing. He's winning the election day by 4. What's the expected remaining there in Tulsa? I know it's early for this, but
Yeah, there's still quite a bit.
Yeah.
49,000 total expected remaining votes.
we have 49,000 remaining.
Yeah.
Right. So if he were to win that by 5, it's 4 right now in the election day. Let's just say he were to win it by 5. This is very rough math. That would be about 2,500. It'd be a net of 2,500. He would win the county by about 2,200, which, again, the benchmark I set for, I said I wanted to do one candidate's benchmarks, not the other. I may go back on that right now. The Mazie benchmark in Tulsa, again, remember, he represented parts of this in the state Senate. He's going back a decade, but this is kind of his base. He lives in Tulsa, is 52. But again, the way that election day vote is splitting, that's an attainable number. I mean, these are kind of right on the number right now, at least with what we're seeing. I'm calling this up here. We do have some small counties that are in, huh? Mm-hmm. That we could kind of take a look at here. Let's see. I think we have. Yeah. Okay. So we think this is all the vote, and okay. Here I set. These are rough, but here I set a Drummond benchmark of 58, 51. What else we got here? Where else are we close to 100? I'm trying to see where we're close to 100 here. That's sizable. That's the largest county that we think we might be complete in. Where else do we think we might be complete here that's got size? 1,500 votes. Is that the biggest? All right, I think this is probably the second biggest county where we've got, where we think we might be close to complete. What did I put as a benchmark here? Well, for Drummond, I put 52. So he's falling a little short in one smaller county, bigger in the other. Again, like, a third of the vote, 30% between these two, it's going to be 60% of the vote. Is there anything here we're running at? Tell me about Wagner County, election day versus same day.
The pre-election day vote was running for Drummond 52-48.
Yeah.
Election day is running for Drummond 51-49.
51-49. Yeah. And what did I set here? Well, I said, Wagner's a bigger county here. It's going to be about 3% statewide. I set a benchmark here of Drummond at 48. So that is, at least that larger county is what he would want to see. Will Rogers, half the vote here. What's the election day, same day here?
The pre-election day vote was running for Drummond 54-46. Election day 53-47.
Yeah,
for Drummond.
and this is one of the sort of 5 that I have here that I kind of ID'd as pure toss-up. And so, okay, I mean, and these are places that have some population, right? Wagner County and Rogers County, between the two of them are going to be about 7% of all the votes that are cast in Oklahoma tonight. And with sizable vote in each one, Drummond is exceeding a benchmark by a couple of points in each one. 3 points, basically ranking 3 points above what I would say is a benchmark in both of them, with election day vote that's not looking radically different for him. Tulsa, we just got a little bit more there. Osage, I'm just looking for, anything here in Creek. Creek is smaller. I would have put Drummond's benchmark here at 49. Can you tell me what the what the election day vote is running at in Creek?
Creek 51 for Drummond, 49 Mazie.
Yeah. So I mean, again, it's just these are small. I'm not seeing anything that's jumping out here. But I've seen several now where he's running 2-3 points above the benchmark. Let's go through Little Dixie and just see where we're. These are smaller, but this is the core for Mazie. Where we expect him to obviously put up his best numbers, and clearly he is. But how good? I'm going to give you a rough Mazie benchmark: 58 over it, 67 on it, 62. This is the only Oklahoma county that's actually part of that Dallas-Fort Worth metro area, believe it or not. Bryan County, Atoka. 63. I'm giving you Mazie's number right here. Atoka. Oh boy, if you're a horse racing fan, there's a story involving the legendary trainer D. Wayne Lucas, and his son lived here. It's quite a story. Let's see here. 61%. 62 would be the benchmark here for Mazie. 68. I'm just going. These are small. Okay, Latimer. 49 would be the number for him here. So we're not seeing anything really jumping out here. He's a little bit above, a little bit below in some. These are all pretty small counties. Collectively works out to about 56 here. What about Hughes?
We got some updates on the statewide, too.
Yeah.
Oh, we're just right at 50-50.
I mean, yeah, this is
50% in, 50-50.
That's what it looks like. Boy, that's what it looks like. I'm trying to see here. Let me call the other screen back up. Come on. I'm just looking for sizable counties here where we've got, let me do it this way. Instead of the expected vote, the total vote that's in. Yeah, Cleveland has the most raw votes in. So Cleveland is the most complete of the biggies. Payne, we've got some, this is where Stillwater is, Oklahoma State University. This is another one of the more complete, larger size counties. Thought this needed to be a, great job on this, Steve. I have my benchmark here. What did I say? Yeah, I think I had 60% for Drummond here. So here's a place where he's falling 3 points short. It's we just got a little bit more out of Canadian County, it looked like. Mazie pulls into the lead here. Again, this is Canadian's big, and it's only getting bigger. This is like 5% of the vote statewide. We got half the vote here in Canadian County. Mazie just took the lead here. This is one that Drummond I have wanting to win. Fastest growing in the state. Taking a look around again, sort of the Oklahoma City. Okay, we're all pretty complete in Logan County. This is one I had Mazie wanting to get 52 here. He's getting 52.6. This is the biggie. This in Tulsa, each one about 15% of the statewide vote. Drummond wanting to get 52 here, running at 53. Cleveland, one of the most complete big ones. Norman is here, not just Norman, but it's running at 50-50 right now. And again, had Drummond wanting to win this narrowly. let's see, McLean, we've got some. We only got a third right there. Grady, we've only got a quarter. Again, look through the Tulsa area here. Okay, here we go. This is just south of Tulsa. 53 would have been. Yeah, these are just all. Let's see what happens. I think what we're trying to see here, first of all, is there a trend here in Mazzei's favor as the election day votes coming into Canadian County? Because this is a big one, and if Mazzei could open up a bit of a pad here, that he'd be winning in a place where I think we thought Drummond wanted to have the advantage. But this is the big question here, like Oklahoma City and Tulsa. Between the two of them, it's almost a third of the vote statewide, just those two counties. And again, this is where Mazzei is from. Drummond's family ancestrally is kind of from here. And Oklahoma, we just got a chunk more. Tell me what the election day early is looking like in Oklahoma County.
Oklahoma County, in the pre-election day vote, was running for Drummond 56-44. In the election day vote, it's running 50-50.
Yeah, okay. And there's a lot more to come out of that. Again, Drummond wants to win here. Probably doesn't need to win by a ton based on these benchmarks. So we're seeing a trend here toward Mazzei with the election day vote. Anything in Comanche, right, a third of the vote right here. This is the biggest population you're going to find down in sort of that Little Great Plains area. What else can we look at here? Again, we looked at, okay, we're getting close to, the place where even squares can have a ball. I put this one in this is one of the, pure toss-ups. We're at 3/4 of the vote. I'm just looking for some separation here from expectations. Cherokee County toss-up, Mazzei by 0.8 of a point, nearly complete. Delaware County, 40%. This toss-up, smaller. Again, just looking for places where we might have some separation. Ottawa County, we're getting about 80% of the vote in. Had Mazzei wanting to win here. So Drummond, with about in the low 50s. So, but again, these are just, they've traded. I'm just seeing they've kind of traded places where they're overperforming. It's only by a few points, and there seems to be an election day vote trend that's favoring Mazzei. And so statewide, maybe that's the thing. Statewide, we're at 55% of the vote right now. Mazzei has taken the lead, and we're on just election day vote coming in. So that's, and how much of 160,000 remaining votes in the state. We're now just on election day vote. We think there are 160,000 votes to come statewide. How many of those votes do we think are from Tulsa County? Right? Remember, Tulsa and Oklahoma are the two biggest counties. Oklahoma County, where Oklahoma City is. And we think 36,000. So that's interesting. Half the remaining vote is going to come from these two counties, from Oklahoma and Tulsa, we think. That's disproportionately high because the two of them combined make up about 30% of all votes in a Republican primary statewide. So we've got far more votes coming from outside the two population hubs than from in them. Half the remaining vote is from those two places. And again, in the preliminary, slight Drummond advantage in Oklahoma County, slight Mazzei advantage in Tulsa County. So far tonight in Tulsa County, slight, but 0.8 of a point, Drummond advantage in Tulsa, and slight, 4-point advantage there for Drummond in Oklahoma County. But again, if that election day trend is working against Drummond, that becomes the possibility here. If this election, and did we get, I think we've gotten more Tulsa. What's the election day vote breaking at in Tulsa?
Currently, it looks like
Ooh, it just
Mazie 52, Drummond 48.
Yeah, right. Okay, that's right. We had gone through this, right? The 5 points. So right, close to a third in Tulsa, and there's a trend there that I mean I'm looking for any kind of separation from just like a dead even race, and not seeing it. Where else can we look here? So that we just got an update. That update, I guess, in Tulsa and elsewhere knocked us down to 151 statewide. So now well over half the remaining vote is coming from just those two places, Tulsa and Oklahoma counties. What would be the next biggest source of vote outside of them? It would be, I mean, just look, 42,000 is left here. We think 36,000 is left right there in Tulsa. We think about 7,000 is left right there in Canadian County. We think about 6,000 is left right next door to Tulsa in Wagner County, so the immediate metro area in both places. Where else is there vote? We think about 5,000 is left down here in Comanche County where Lawton is. And we think about 5,000 is left how much is left in not much, huh? Okay, so then about 5,000 left in McLean County right here. So, 42, 49, 49,000, 42, 91, 101. That's 2/3 of the remaining vote right there in those big places. And in all of them right now, those 6 big places, right? Just go through them. In Wagner County, Drummond is leading Rogers County. In Wagner County, it's 52-48, and the Mazie target would be 52 here, I think. These are rough. In Tulsa, I'm going through the 6 biggies. In Tulsa, again, the Mazie target here would probably be 52. He's doing a little bit better with the election day vote. In Oklahoma County, Drummond's at 51.9. I think his target here is 52. In Canadian County, I think Drummond's target is 52. He's running. There's a place where he's running. There's a big place where Drummond's missing right now, and I think it might be getting a little bit worse as the election day vote comes in. McLean County, the Drummond number here would be 46, running south of that there. And then in Comanche County, the Mazie number here would be 53. He's at 51. So the most interesting thing we just saw is right here in Canadian County. That's Mazie exceeding, I think, benchmarks a little bit. What's the election day vote running at in Canadian County?
Let me pull it up. 52-48.
Yeah. So he might be able to do a little bit. And then we got a little bit more in Oklahoma County, I think. Is that right?
Yeah, we've been getting steady updates in pretty much all the counties with remaining vote.
Okay, and what's the election day vote running at Oklahoma County?
50-50.
It's running 50-50. Yeah, boy, we got a squeaker. That's it. I'll just remind you, this is what it looked like in the preliminary, right? Drummond won this by 1,100 votes over Mazie in the preliminary. And again, just look at we'll go right back to the results, but just to give you a sense of what we're working off of here, this is what Oklahoma County looked like, right? So when I'm saying I think the benchmark for Drummond being a narrow win here, right? Tulsa County, where Mazie's from, right? He had a little bit of a pad over Drummond right there. These are the two big population centers. You take a look like Canadian County is actually a different candidate. More than half the vote went to other candidates in that preliminary, or almost half the vote, I should say, went to other candidates in that preliminary. So now we've got 2/3. It's coming in quickly, but it's not. No one's really differentiating themselves here. Mazie's up 1,600. We're down to 133,000 left statewide. So I think like 5 minutes ago we said this was 160. We've shaved 30,000 off of it in that time. 75,000 of that 133 is just Tulsa and Oklahoma counties. So I think we're just looking to see if one of these candidates in that election day vote in those two big counties gets is able to get some kind of separation from what the sort of benchmark expectation would be for them. And then, Canadian is the other one. There's 6,500 votes left there. Maisie's opened up an advantage there of about 2 points and change, a place, I think where Drummond had outpolled him in the preliminary. Wagner County, I'm just looking at Wagner, McLean, we showed you, Comanche. Where else do we have votes? 3,500 in Osage County. Potawatomi's got maybe 4,000 that are left. Rogers County, we're inside of 2,000. So Rogers County, Drummond is getting 55-45. Yeah, Rogers is going well for, see, that's the other, Rogers is going very well for Drummond. I would have said this was a toss-up. We had this one as a sort of a toss-up county coming in. And look at that. You're getting close to complete in Rogers County, and Drummond's getting the better of Maisie right there. We just got a big batch in from Wagner County it was clearly a little bit better for Maisie. But we're now at 2/3 in Wagner. Again, where we thought Maisie wanted to get about 52. It was good for Maisie, but he's running short of it there. So look, in the sort of suburban county outside Tulsa, Drummond, I think, maybe outperforming his benchmark here by a few points. But in the suburban county, the big one outside of Oklahoma City, Maisie is. So they're kind of trading maybe slight overperformances on each other's turf. Think we're done potentially here in Cleveland County, where Norman is. And Maisie ends up winning this one. We think this might be it in Cleveland County, where, again, the benchmark that we had set here, let me call this up because I didn't write it down either time, but the benchmark that we had set here in Cleveland was Drummond 51. So, it's a little short, but it's not, you can't say too much off that. You need to see that pattern in a bunch of places. It's what else just came in? Maisie got a little bit of a pad there.
Every update we've been getting, kind of pretty broad updates.
Just scattering.
From all the counties. McLean maybe.
We got some McLean.
Was the biggest.
Okay, what do we get here? And now Maisie's up 55-45 here. Now Maisie's exceeding his benchmark here. I think can you tell me what the last update was here?
54-46.
Okay.
Maisie.
So we're sitting at 120. It is coming fast here. We're sitting at 120,000 votes left statewide here. Again, Maisie, the Trump-endorsed candidate. Drummond, the state attorney general from the very, very prominent Drummond family, big landowners there in Osage County, running with Trump going at him pretty hard. Also has positioned himself and been at odds with the governor, the outgoing governor, Kevin Stitt, although the governor has also been in Trump's crosshairs as well. So some interesting intra-party dynamics there. Down to 117,000 left statewide. And again, that's 39K out of Tulsa, 31K out of Oklahoma County. So 70,000 of the 117 is coming from these two counties. So let's zoom in here. So yeah, 2/3 to come in Oklahoma and 2/3 to come in Tulsa. And they are the lion's share. They're about 2/3 of what is left statewide, a little bit less than that, but they're the lion's share of what's left statewide. Can you tell me, has there been any shift here? What's the election day vote breaking in Oklahoma County? Drummond, I see getting up to, well, go ahead.
Yeah, the most recent Oklahoma County was running for Drummond 52-48.
Is there a cumulative number there?
Cumulative for Oklahoma?
Yeah.
Let's see.
Because he's right where at the start of the night I would have said he wanted to be, which I guess is no surprise because
50-50.
It's 50-50 overall on the election day.
Yes.
So he just got a more favorable election day update. Okay. And in Tulsa County, what's the election day now running at? I know we were at 29% in the last time.
51 Maisie, 49 Drummond.
And I think that was a little bit less before. So 69% in statewide. We're getting incremental updates from the two by far biggest sources of outstanding vote that are left in this thing. And then again, looking, I think McLean, you took us through. We had that. I'm just looking for any place with substantial vote right here. There is not a ton of it. There is not a ton of it when you get, again, It's 38 now. Okay, now we're down. We now think there are 111,000 votes left statewide. Okay, we think 38,000 of them are right there in Tulsa County. We think 31,000 of them are in Oklahoma County. What after that is right down here. We think there's 4,400 votes left in Comanche County. We think there's about 3,900 left right there in Canadian County. We think there's 3,600 in Wagner County. We think there's 3,600 right there. And those are the biggest. Sources that are. We think there's 3,000 left up here in Osage. Again, the Drummond family homestead is there. They are, and Drummond is running at 58% right there. What else? There's a little bit left in Rogers. There's a little bit left up here in Rogers where Drummond is doing quite well. Let's see, Pottawatomie County, we think there's about 2,600 left. But yeah, look, 39, 83, about 12, 15, 53, 8. Yeah, I mean, again, just what I have on the board right here is about 80, 85% of your outstanding vote in the state. It's in these places. And, and what do you see? You see Drummond with a narrow lead in what's come in so far in Tulsa, and Drummond with a narrow lead. But I mean, these are 51%, 51-49 races in the two places that by far have the most outstanding vote. Drummond with an advantage so far in Wagner County, which I think what you're sort of seeing, the Mazie advantage here in Canadian County and the Drummond advantage here in Wagner County may offset each other. Mazie doing quite well in Comanche, where there's still 4,400 left. Of course, up here, as we said, there's still a little bit left in Rogers, in Osage County. So these probably offset each other. So again, you're really looking here at Oklahoma and Tulsa, where in Oklahoma, Drummond is leading. Okay, does that 52-48 hold the rest of the way? Right? That's very tenuous. How about tenuous? 0.6 of a point in Tulsa. That last update that came in was Mazie by a little bit.
Yes, and the one thing I was just looking at was with the race so close statewide,
the recount,
any recount rules.
And
this from the AP, Oklahoma doesn't have an automatic recount for elections involving candidates, but candidates may request and pay for one regardless of the vote margin.
Yes, that is certainly a very well worth flagging. My other question would be, I don't want to, we got a couple thousand more in there. Looking back at this preliminary, nope, never mind. So my question was going to be, given how close it was, how long did it take to call? But we were only calling top two, and there was separation at third place. So that question's off.
Yeah, it does feel like on this trajectory, it is going to be.
We're going to land in overtime. Yeah. And I got good news for folks. It's going to be 2 to 3 days. We got showers out there. Well, let's play it out a little bit because it is coming a steady thing. We can go another 15 minutes here or so, see what it brings, because it's also so concentrated. What's left right now in those two counties, in Tulsa and in Oklahoma counties. 70,000 votes still between the two of them. And if you get a big batch in one of these places, right, that just breaks for one of these. So what just came in there? It knocked the Mazie advantage up a little bit.
Let's see.
Was it in our big two?
Yeah, we got a Bryan in Oklahoma, a Rogers, and a Tulsa.
Okay.
Each with about.
Well, okay. What came in Bryan? How much came in? It must have broke big for
1,300 votes.
Yeah.
Mazie wins 62-38.
Okay, so he padded that. Then you said we got a little bit of Rogers.
Rogers as well, about 1,600 votes. Drummond wins 53-47.
Okay, what else came in right there?
Tulsa.
Yep.
Mazie wins 51-49.
So he's okay.
And then the biggest batch was from Oklahoma.
Yeah.
2,500 votes. Drummond wins 52-48.
Batch. Yeah. Wow. I mean, so it's sort of, Drummond is trying to play catch up here, but I mean, play catch up. It's 0.8 of a point, but he does have, a 4-point advantage in Oklahoma County, and he has a fractional advantage here in Tulsa, where it looks like Mazzei's been doing better with the election day. Mazzei may be able to turn this around on Drummond in Tulsa. So what could Drummond squeeze out of, what's left in Oklahoma County? How many, we think, 30, we think 29,000, call it 30,000 votes are left in Oklahoma County. I mean, you can see this is about 21,000, almost 22,000 votes between these candidates. Drummond's lead has amounted to 872 votes, right? So, with 30,000, he might be able to get his margin in Oklahoma County at this rate up to about 2,000 votes, an additional 1,200 that would come off of that Mazzei number. But he is chasing Mazzei here, and Mazzei, meanwhile, this becomes the key, right? The next, and honestly, just looking at what's left, if you get beyond Tulsa and Oklahoma counties, right? Again, I think there's it's clarifying a little bit here. We think there are 92,000 votes left statewide. We think 35,000 of them are in Tulsa County, and we think 27,000 of them are in Oklahoma County. You can see that Mazzei has the advantage there of 2,100 votes. And if you get beyond that, what's the next biggest county with votes? At 3,500. So there's draw a giant line between those counties. And again, right now we're saying Drummond has been narrowly leading in Oklahoma County. I don't know if he's going to continue it, but if he does, he might be able to net 1,500, 2,000 votes, something like that out of there. Tulsa, he has a very tenuous lead in the tally, but Mazzei has been doing maybe a little bit better with the election day vote. So that becomes a key question because when you get beyond that, right, Drummond is trying to make up 2,000 votes right now, net. He could do that out of Oklahoma County. Can he do that out of Tulsa as well? Can he win Tulsa by the end of the night, or is Mazzei going to overwhelm him with the remaining election day vote? Because when you then go to the much smaller sources of outstanding vote that are left, right, number one is Canadian County. Mazzei's leading it, 51-49. Number two is Comanche County. Now, Comanche is now running 51-49 as well. I feel that was better for Mazzei earlier. Then Osage, 2,700 is running 56-43 Drummond, 57-43 Drummond. We've talked about the Drummond family connection there. Pottawatomie, Mazzei's winning by 4. Washington, Mazzei by 10. Stevens, Mazzei by 10. So you start to, Garfield, Drummond by 3. Kingfisher, it's not. Delaware, Mazzei by 10. Where did we just get? We just got another 4,000 that came in, I think.
I see about 2,000.
Okay. I think our expected vote just adjusted.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
No, it's 88,000. There's 88,000 there left. I kind of just want to. This isn't that hard. If we could just get a calculator out here, I think. Let me just bear with me, folks, because there aren't that many counties with outstanding vote. So let's just try this. Do you have I have a pen.
You also have the feature in the board with the little circles of remaining vote.
I've never done this. Yeah, this would be a great time to use it.
Stats on the right.
Yeah.
And then remaining vote.
Remaining vote. Okay. Now can I, good. Whoa.
Go back to the state you were in. There you go.
Okay. Well, this is a great way of illustrating what we've been saying, how much of this is just in these two counties. Again, the decision desk now says 87,000 left statewide, and that's a break of 35 in this bubble and 27, 62,000 of the 87,000, right? So basically, 3/4 of it basically of the remaining votes coming from those two places. So what I want to get a sense of, because we see how close that is, okay? What I want to get a sense of is just that remaining, quarter of the vote here. If it has a tint for one shade of red here, meaning Adam, are you in neat?
Yes.
Okay, do me a favor. I'm just going to run down this list. Oh, sorry, we just got another update. We're doing this as the votes come in. 82. Another update just came in that was very good for Mazie. Where was that?
Tulsa, 2,500 votes.
And look what, okay, I think this is important what just happened. Look what happened. Tulsa now has turned over. Drummond had been leading the tally. We said it looked like Mazie was doing better with the election day vote. Mazie, it's not an overwhelming, but the trend, Mazie now takes the lead in the tally. And what was the split on that?
53-46.
6-7 point margin there for Mazie, with a lot to come in Tulsa. Now we think 33K left in Tulsa. And this is the thing for Drummond, who is now, I mean, this is close, but Drummond is chasing. It's a point now. It's close to 3,000 votes. We keep showing you how much is just these two counties. You know, Drummond's been doing okay here, but we haven't seen updates where he's really breaking anything more than 52-48. So if he continues to win the vote in Oklahoma County at that clip, you know, well, look, we got about half the vote left. How much do we think how many raw votes do we think is left? I've only written 27,000. So if he wins the remaining 27,000 votes by 4 points, that's about 1,000 votes. He would net an additional about 1,000 votes statewide. That would put him down still 1879, give or take, just south of 2,000. Then, if you have the other major remaining source of votes, frankly, it's a little bit bigger right now in Tulsa County, and Mazie continues to win those updates at a comparable clip. Then Mazie, all the gains that Drummond makes remaining in Oklahoma County are then wiped out by what Mazie gets if that trend continues in Tulsa County. So it has the effect of taking a race where statewide Mazie's leading by this much. We think almost 3/4 of the vote is coming from two counties that's left in this thing. And so it's a huge if, but if this continues for Drummond at the same pace, he takes a bite out of this, but not that big of one. And then if this continues at the same pace, that bite that he takes out gets taken away, gets unbitten. And then you've taken the two biggest sources of outstanding vote that are left off the table, and what are you left with? Well, I mean, look, right now we think there's 78,000 votes statewide to come. Okay, it keeps going down, right? Where does it stand? Tulsa's 33, Oklahoma County is 25, so that's 58. 58,000. So where's the other 20,000? That's what we want to try to figure out. Is there a tint to the other 20,000? Adam, just tell me, do me a favor, and I'm going to give you a county and tell me what Mazie is running at in it. Canadian.
Overall or in the election
Yeah, right
day?
now, just, in the election day. Canadian County.
52.
Okay. Comanche County.
52.
Oh, wait, I pressed the wrong button. 2,600 times 52%. 1352. Okay. Yep. Osage County.
46.
Okay. McLean County.
55.
Washington.
56.
Wagner.
49.
Okay. Stevens. Sorry, folks. We're getting close here, folks. Bear with me.
51.
Right, so these just wipe each other out. Potawatomi.
53.
Washington. Did we do Washington?
I think we just did
Yeah,
Washington.
Kingfisher. Two more, folks.
43.
Sorry. And Choctaw.
67.
Oh, wow. So I think roughly Yeah, I think that 74,000 votes are left, we think, statewide. 74,000 votes we think are left statewide. Now, we've had some more updates in Tulsa and in Oklahoma, and Adam's going to tell me about them in 1 second, but 55,000 of the 74,000 are there. Some from these other counties have come in. The net, though, of those other counties outside of here, the kind of preponderance of them, I think is going to favor Mazie. I think it's going to, give or take, it could be another 750 to 1,000 votes to this total coming out of there. Okay, from these other outstanding counties. Now tell me, so it becomes critical. We got more updates out of Oklahoma City in that time. What was the most recent election day vote out of Oklahoma City? What was how did it break?
Drummond 52, 48. 48, yeah.
Still at that number. Tulsa, we definitely got some while we were there. What was the most recent update or updates?
Mazie 52, 48.
He continues to, right. So in Mazie, remember we said like 10 minutes ago, oh, wow, it's close. Drummond's up 0.6. Now it's reversed, a 1.2 point swing. Mazie now leads by 0.6 here. So I think look, now Mazie's up 3,100 statewide, 1 point. The trend is friendly to him here. The trend continues to be friendly to Drummond here, but in a way that this would simply offset this, or this would simply offset this. They cancel each other out. That's the trend right now between the two of them. 69,000 votes left statewide, 30 of them in Tulsa, 22 of them here. 52,000 of the remaining 69,000 are from these two counties. The trend in those two counties is to cancel each other out. Mazie with the advantage right now in the tally. So if that happens, if both of those come off the board, then this largely remains untouched. And then you're down to 17,000 votes left. And if you just take a look, the tedious, boring, death on television math I was just doing is more friendly in those smaller remaining counties to Mazie than it is to Drummond. So while this took us a while, it took us a while to kind of figure this one out. I think, this is, it's very, very close right now. And I don't want to, our decision desk is not certainly calling anything. And let's see if there's room in both of these counties. I think what Drummond would need here is for an acceleration of this in Oklahoma County, or for, in the remaining vote in Tulsa County, a reversal of the trend that we've been seeing. There are, hey, I was in Tulsa this summer. I was into some of those high-end neighborhoods in Tulsa. I saw Drummond signs. It was some beautiful neighborhoods there. You ever?
I have not been to Tulsa. No.
I recommend it as a trip for people. 3,200. Go take the tunnel tour downtown. It's fantastic. So now, was that a logistics note there?
Sure, if you want to look at it.
Again, we're just coordinating the. Okay, thank you. So I think we just had some real clarity there finally in terms of working through where this one stands with 67,000 now statewide. The current trajectory is very friendly to Mazie. The current trajectory has to shift. For Drummond, it is very, very close here. But with what's left, 3,269 starts to become daunting with what's left. And again, just given the breakdown of what's, there's only, outside of Tulsa and Oklahoma counties, there's only 3 counties in the state where there's 2,000 or more votes left. 2,000 in Osage, 2,300 in McLean, 3,500 in Canadian. Right? So, the 5 biggest remaining counties, 29,000, 22,000, 3,500, 2,300, 2,000. And, and I'm just seeing more places here where there's vote remaining, where Mazie is leading in that election day vote that Adam is taking us through, than Drummond. So let's just, it's 9:48:40. How about this for a plan?
I'm running low on computer battery.
I think, I wonder if we're running low on audience. So here's what I'm going to say. Let's take this to about 10, okay?
Okay.
And let's see in the next 10 minutes, because it's been coming in pretty quickly. And we're down to, there's now 63,000. I think 20 minutes ago, we had 160,000 votes left statewide. So let's see where this comes down in the next 10 minutes. And let's do it with an eye to this question. Is there any change in what comes in the next 10 minutes and 44 seconds? Is there any change to the trajectory we just outlined, where Drummond is narrowly winning here, but the same day trend here is on pace to wipe that out, to obviate it, right, to cancel it out, and thereby leaving Drummond in search of roughly this number of votes in a very, very small collection of counties where, 63,000, 49,000 of it is in these two.
We did get another Oklahoma update.
Yeah. A little
Oklahoma
bit better
County.
for Gentner, Drummond,
Drummond 53-47.
Okay, collectively, what's he winning the election day by there?
Drummond 51-49.
Yeah, so that's the election day. Yeah,
Yes.
right. So he, and again, we've been saying, trying to paint the more optimistic, if you're his campaign, what the optimistic numbers for them would be. And we've been saying 52-48 there. So if he's not even hitting that in the cumulative election day, he really needs to turn it on in what is left there. Meanwhile, the optimistic case for the Mazie campaign is that, they've been doing much better with the election day vote here in Tulsa. And again, can potentially poised to cancel out any further gains that Drummond gets. 60,000 statewide, 60,000 left statewide, 29 in Tulsa, and 19 in Oklahoma County, right? So 48, 48,000 of the 60,000, 12, 15, 12 divided by 3, 4, 4/5, 80% of the remaining vote is in these two counties. And 31-69. Canadian is the next biggest. The next biggest is Canadian, where we think Mazie's been winning the election day vote.
We just got another 700 votes there.
How'd they break?
Drummond 51-49.
Yeah, it's tiny, but it does net to his benefit. What's after that? McLean. We think 2,300 in McLean, and Mazie's been winning the election day vote there by a fair amount. So that could be a pad for him. After that is Osage, 1,700, where Drummond has been winning, but I think it's gotten closer with the election day vote. Can you tell me what the election day vote is in Osage?
Yes, Drummond 52-48.
Geez, yeah, it's right. He had a much bigger lead with the early, so he's not even getting that much. There's only 1,700 votes there. And the only other county left in Oklahoma with more than 1,000 votes is Stevens County, 1,200, which, I mean, it's dead even. How's the election day vote breaking there?
50-50, but the most recent update just came in our most recent update there in Stevens. It was 300 votes, and Drummond won that batch, 60-40.
Oh, all right. We got so he put up a decent number in the smallest kind of, there's just not a ton, then 900 in Comanche, then nothing over 500 in the rest of the state. So I don't know how many are left, watching. And if you are, boy, you're like us. You love these things. What we're going to do is what I just said, Adam. We're going to play this out here till about 10 o'clock and see where that puts us, because I think we can end up in a range here where it's very close. It's not callable, but it's there's some degree of clarity. That can be possible in these things. I think sometimes that's where they land, and then we get into a situation where it's like, we're not going to keep the studio. It's not just me here. We're not going to keep the studio, going until 4 a.m. So the goal right here in the next 10 minutes is to see how much clarity we can get, and if we do get enough in the next 10 minutes to get us to the cusp of something more decisive, that's what we would kind of reassess at that point. So, but I just use the opportunity right here and see if anything else comes in to thank everybody who has tuned in tonight for this, South Carolina, for Oklahoma, for the 90 seconds we spend on Georgia, for the congressman whose career is probably going to last about 90 seconds as well, and to let you know now that next week we are going to be right back at it with the Massachusetts Senate primary. Ed Markey, Seth Moulton, what is going on there? We'll find out. We're also scheduled for September 8th, New Hampshire. And I don't know. I don't want to start any rumors. There was talk of between me and Adam at least, of one other potentially very small thing but we'll talk about that. Very small might be a clue there. So 9:54:30 right now. We're kind of in this holding pattern. I see our decision desk has it at 60,000 on the dot left expected vote, and it is 26K in Tulsa and it is 25K in Oklahoma City. We just got another update from
Oklahoma.
Tell me about it.
Drummond 52, Mazie 48.
He keeps getting that 52-48. So with 23,000 left, I can get a more exact number here. Yeah, I mean, if he wins everything remaining there, Drummond, by 52-48, which is kind of, he nets 920 votes. Here's the problem for Drummond. If he doesn't step it up in Oklahoma County, he knocks that down to about 1977, right? And then, Adam, Tulsa, what's the election day vote breaking?
Currently, Mazie 51.3, Drummond 48.7.
Right, so 2.5 points. Nothing huge, but we've seen enough of a trend there that thing went from rose-colored to dark red color. So if the remaining went by that margin, that would net out to a 650 vote plurality remaining for Mazie, which would knock that thing back up to 26. There's a rough math here, but 26-22, right? So, and that's the lion's share of what's left. Those are, and then what's left? Canadian County is the next biggest one. So at that point, Drummond would be staring at a deficit there of in excess of 2,500 votes, with the next largest county being Canadian, where he's losing the election day vote, Drummond is. And the next biggest after that being McLean, where he's losing Drummond the election day vote. And then those are the only ones over 2,000. Then you're left with Stevens. Mazie's leading there. And then only Osage County. It's the only real sizable thing. And we just got more from the smaller ones here. Sorry. So 2795, 86%. Did we just get more Tulsa?
Yeah, about 1,500 Tulsa in that batch.
Oh, that was better for Drummond, huh?
Yeah, he wins 54-46.
Oh, my goodness. So wait a minute. I thought we were getting close to clarity at 9:57:14. Oh, my goodness. We're at 86%. We got to play that just a little bit more here. We got to try to get it. Let's see what we can do here.
I did get reinforcements with my laptop charger.
All right. It is coming in fast enough where we really could get something clear here. 54K left, 54,000. 24 of it in Tulsa, 23 of it in Oklahoma City, in Oklahoma County. Not entirely Oklahoma City there. 2,300 in Canadian, 1,200 in Stevens, 1,200 in Osage County. And it's just, and then 800 in McLean, and then it is just truly a scattering after that of just kind of loose votes. All right, somebody give us the next 9:58:15. Come on, one of these counties, give us a big update here. Give us the clarifying update. Is it Drummond with a huge number out of Oklahoma County? Is it with Drummond with another huge number out of Tulsa that suddenly flips that thing back to him? He needs big numbers. He is down right now, and that is a real deficit. Just looking at this, but it's reversible with updates like he just got. If he won, he just won by 8 points in that update. If he won the remaining vote in Oklahoma County by 8 points.
We just got a Canadian County update.
Yeah, how did it break?
1,800 votes.
Yeah.
Drummond 50.1, Mazie 49.9.
Was that a net difference of 12?
Yeah, that looks about right. 13.
28-34. I mean, there's 52,000 votes left statewide, and it really is. It's 24,000 of them are here, and 23,000, 47,000 of the 52,000 remaining votes are just in these two counties. It's a story of these two counties, and it's a story of is there a break toward Drummond? It's got to be like, what would he have to do, right? If he wins, let's say he won and he just got a batch that kind of surprised me out of Tulsa. Maybe it was those fancy neighborhoods I saw the Drummond signs in. I don't know.
Could be.
If he won Oklahoma, what's left there by 10 points. He's not been winning updates out of Oklahoma County by 10 points, but if he did, he'd net 2,300. It would be close to undoing that, but not all of it. If he 10 points in Tulsa, 24. If he won each, the remaining in each by 5 points, 1150, yeah, 20, it would almost undo it. And then he'd be left with, and he would, Stevens and Osage could cancel each other out. He's got to be winning any update now, I think, that we get out of Oklahoma County or out of Tulsa County. I think Drummond's got to be winning him by like a minimum of 5 points, like the rest of the way. That's to be in the ballgame, to be in the ballpark. If we get another 10 o'clock and 36, let's see what the next sizable update is from those counties, because I think it's clarifying. The next sizable update, I think we just got 2,000 out of Tulsa.
Yeah, we just got 1,400 out of Tulsa and 1,400 out of Oklahoma.
Oh boy, what was Tulsa? How did it break?
Drummond, I'll just give you the raw number.
Yeah.
709.
Yeah.
Mazie 617.
Oh, okay.
In Oklahoma County,
Yeah.
that was Drummond 775, Mazie 669.
Well, we gotta need the percentages on this.
All right, sorry. Both
No,
of
no.
them were 53-46, 54-46.
We say they got to be over 5. He just did it. He did it to he did the threshold thing to keep me from saying, I think we've got a good sense. I can't believe this. Oh, you want to kill me, right? Everybody wants to kill me. I'm sorry. I'm trying to get us to. We're 10-0. We've gone much. We're not going much later. But we're at 48,000 left. 40. I said Drummond to stay in the game, right? This is like, what's a good analogy here? I don't know. There's 48,000 left statewide now. 22 of them, 22K are in Tulsa. 21 is in Oklahoma County. 43,000 to 48,000. We just said to have any shot of winding that number back, Drummond needs to be winning these updates by more than 5, and he comes out and wins them by 7, 8 in each one. He needs more probably, but the trajectory was like, again, you just said he won the Tulsa update, what, by 7?
Yep.
Right, so if he won the remainder of the vote in Tulsa by 7 points, it's a net of 1,540, right? And he won the Oklahoma update, what, by 8?
Yeah, they were both right in that neighborhood, yes.
Yeah, and so if he did that with the remainder of the vote in Oklahoma, it's 1,680. So between the two, it would be more than just over 3,000 net. Those would put him ahead in the tally. Then what will we have left? Just 5,000 votes. Now, let me ask you: are you in touch with the decision desk? Do they? I think a good question would be: do they anticipate this being callable tonight?
The last update was, it was going to take some time. I think, we're in the position where it's 88% in. The margin is just under 3,000, and we're just waiting. All these county updates, as you've been going through, have been going kind of not erratically with their patterns, but it's been going back and forth. It's a very close race. I can ask them for an update.
Yeah, I think
you see it the same way.
Because I know we can get in situations where we get basically to all the vote, and somebody's ahead by a couple thousand, but it's still not callable because they want to the next day check things with election officials. And
Right.
So I want to see if we're in one of those situations. And while you're doing that, I want to check a thing that you put together earlier, very helpfully here, called Oklahoma Timeline. And I'm looking at when we got our, this is the preliminary, so it's 10:04, 10, we were at, we hit, we were right where we were. Boy, we are right where we were in the preliminary. So this went on, we were at 88% in the preliminary at 10:07 p.m. It's 10:04:37 and we're at 88%. The bad news is, oh no, yeah, okay, we hit 95% at 10:30.
The decision desk says a call is possible. What with the margin so close, they may have to wait for all of the vote to come in to call the race.
Okay. And it is still coming at I said 10. Can I ask you a sensitive question?
Sure.
Is anybody still watching?
I'm sure they are. We've had a loyal following of election enthusiasts.
Are they saying?
Our cohort. We know. We share the election enthusiasm.
I mean, are they, are they looking to?
Are they revolting in the comments? No, not
Are they
that
saying
I've seen.
Enough of this? And dropping. They gave me the number and said, and dropping. Folks, I don't know. What do you want me to do? What do you want to do? We're okay. Well, we definitely won't take that. They're talking to me in my ear about logistics here. They said they got less than an hour. With everybody. I think the commitment for
Scheduling.
We're definitely not going the hour. I just looked back at your thing for the preliminary.
Yeah.
And we hit 95% by 10:30. So it continues to come in, and I'm just like, I feel like that we are one decisive update away from relative clarity in this.
Okay.
And I thought we were getting there because it looked like the trend was Mazie, but Drummond has countered enough that it's still not impossible. That said, did we just, in the last couple of minutes while I was, did we get a small update from somewhere else?
Delaware County gave us 260 votes.
And we
just got an Oklahoma update.
Okay, that's the question. What did we get out of Oklahoma? How did it break?
3,000 new votes. Drummond 52.6, Mazie 47.4.
Yeah, so 5 points is the spread there. So that 27-28 reflects that. So now we think 42,000 votes are left statewide. Okay, we think 22,000 of them are in Tulsa, and we think 18,000 of them are there in Oklahoma County. 5 points was the margin that he just won that by. If Drummond won the remaining 18, well, it'd be 900 votes. He would net 900. Yeah, he needs more than that. 900. But then, again, the twist here, right, was we kept seeing this trend in Tulsa County with the election day. It was modest, but it seemed clear that was Mazie friendly. So we were saying Tulsa's going to offset anything that Gettner gets out of, that Drummond gets out of. I keep calling him, I don't know him. It sounded like a last name. Drummond is the last name. That Drummond gets out of Oklahoma. But then if Drummond is turns it on in Tulsa suddenly, that's what he needs. He needs either something big, double digits out of Oklahoma, or he needs something solid out of both. But with 40,000 votes left between the two of them, he's running 2,700 down. Yeah. And then again, you just look beyond that. The next largest county with votes outstanding is 800 votes. In Stevens County, Mazie is leading there, narrowly, but leading. Osage 450, K 350, nothing else over 200 votes statewide. So it's these batches in Tulsa and in Oklahoma County that are 38. We got some from both. Tell me about them.
Tulsa, 3,500 votes. Mazie wins 50.3% of them. Drummond, 49.7.
Yep.
Oklahoma, another 1,000 votes. Drummond, 52.3. Mazie, 47.7.
Yeah, those are good numbers for Mazie. Those are not good numbers for Drummond. And you can just see it keeps the margin roughly where it is, about 2,700 votes, and it just means there's that many fewer votes now left statewide. That number now sits at 30. That number now sits at 38,000 statewide, split evenly, almost 18,000 Tulsa, 17,000 Oklahoma County. And again, Drummond modestly in Oklahoma, Mazie there in Tulsa. So that the previous update that Drummond got out of Tulsa County was encouraging for him, and is this the start of bigger numbers from out of there? But boy, not that last update. Let's see if we get one or two more updates here at 10:10. Come on, Oklahoma County. Come on, Tulsa County. This is your big moment. Give us some numbers here. At 90, and we hit 90. Yeah, we're right. We hit 90 at 10:12. Geez, this is like identical to the preliminary. We hit 90% at 10:12 p.m. in the preliminary. 10:10 p.m., we hit 90% tonight. And what happened after that in the preliminary, okay, we got an update of 4,300 votes. Okay. What's the YouTube? What's the temperature here? Are folks still interested in this?
I've been monitoring both, but let's see. I think people are just enjoying the drama of this race.
It is. This is what we look for, right?
One of our closest ones of this cycle.
It really is.
For sure.
It really is.
Some people think Mazie has it. Some people think Drummond has it.
Where's some of the comments? Yeah.
That
are arable.
Malorla asks if there's any fellow Okies in the chat. We do appreciate any state residents in the chat. Let's see what else is in here. Andrew Bruce says this is a great horse race.
Yeah. 37,000 left. Little update there.
Getting nice encouragement from Nancy H. She says we're doing a great job.
Thank you, Nancy.
Encouragement from Daxter to keep going.
Thank you.
Paul from, it looks like Chicago. Keep going, Steve.
You could tell me if they say stop. Or just wait. One of these counties, come on, give us a. We're like so. We've got it down to 37,000. 35 of it split among two counties. We just got something big from. What do we got?
Yeah. We got updates from both Oklahoma and Tulsa.
Yeah.
Oklahoma was the bigger update.
Yeah.
Drummond wins 53% in that recent update. In Oklahoma, in Tulsa, he wins 54%.
Drummond has gotten a couple of updates, and so it does. It knocks this down from 0.8 to 0.6. It knocks this down from about 2,700 to 2,350. It knocks the remaining vote now statewide to 31,000, but statewide's a bit of a misnomer here because really it's 16,000 remaining in Tulsa and 13,000 remaining in Oklahoma, and then just a very, very slight dusting of votes outside of there. So we'll just do the extrapolation again. These updates have not been even, but you said 8 points for Drummond with what just came in Tulsa. If he won the remaining 16,000 votes by 8 points, he would net 1,280 votes. There's a huge if. That's the best. 54-46 is as good as it's gotten from in any of these election day updates from Tulsa. And if he won the remaining Oklahoma vote by 6, which is what he just won that last update by, he would net 780 out of there. So that'd be 2060, and that would leave him still 295 votes short. But this is just so, I mean, that's the point of that is this is the scale of what he needs. All right, something on the order of this. There's basically an equal number of votes left, almost equal number of the votes left in the two counties. And the next time we get, and they seem to be coming in tandem, I've noticed the last couple times we've gotten Oklahoma. So the next time they report in, right, our quest for clarity might finally be at hand, because this is kind of, I think, the limit of it for Drummond. We haven't seen him in any update in these two counties do much better than he did in those last two. And if he wins everything that's left in those two counties by the same margin he did, it wouldn't quite eliminate that lead that Mazie has statewide. And keep in mind that outside of Tulsa and Oklahoma, there are maybe 2,000 votes left that might redound. Well, it's very tough to say with that, But I wouldn't count if you're Drummond on making up anything in those 2,000 remaining votes. I think he's really got to make it up in Tulsa and in Oklahoma. So, those last two were basically as good as it's gotten for him with any of these same day updates from these counties. They're probably not quite enough. So the next time we get one of those updates, it'll probably knock this 31,000 number down closer to 20,000. And I think that's going to be very significant. If he doesn't win them by this or more in the next one, then actually erasing that number, it gets very daunting for him. So that's what I think we've come down to here. Now, I mean, you can play mix and match here. We say 53-47 in Oklahoma County. If he wins the next update there, only 51-49, but then wins the Tulsa update, 58-42. But some combination that nets him what this just did, and probably a little bit more. Probably a little bit more is what Drummond would need to get to the basically point where he could erase that 23-55. That would then lead you, I said, with the question of that scattering of about 2,000 that's left elsewhere in the state. I don't know. Does that end up, does Mazie end up netting a couple hundred out of that? That might be aggressive, but I think if you're Drummond, you want to get ahead. You want to get ahead in Tulsa and in Oklahoma County by a couple hundred. Okay, we just got some updates. What just came in?
93 votes out of Osage.
How did it break?
56-44 for Drummond.
Right. Okay. I mean, as we've said, the Drummond fortune, the ranching empire. It's Osage County. That's one of the places where there's a scattering. So there's a little less scattering of votes right now. 10-17. I think we're approaching a significant moment here, and the significant moment is they seem to be coming in every 5-10 minutes in tandem, Oklahoma and Tulsa, and keep this in mind. This is what Drummond has to do, something along the lines of this in these two counties. I'll leave them up here, and what'll happen, well, you'll probably be able to tell the next time they come in, you'll see right away, does this number go down, right? If we just got down, we're at 31,000 left statewide. If the next update takes us down, to 20,000, and this thing falls to 1,500 or less, Drummond's got something good out of there. We'll know that right away. If this thing falls down to 20,000 and this is still over 2,000, Drummond didn't get what he wanted to get out of there. I'll still ask Adam to take us through these numbers, and you'll be able to see. But I think that'll be your early alert system at 92%. When this thing moves up, in a significant, and by significant I mean 92 to 94, 95, something like that. Does it go south of 1,500? Does it stay north of 2,000? I think that's going to give us an awful lot of clarity here, and I think that's coming. Could be any second. right? Could be 5 minutes. 22-34.
Tulsa.
What happened?
We got 1,300 votes out of Tulsa.
Yeah.
55 for Drummond, 45 for Mazie.
40, and we got 1,300.
Yes.
Right. So it didn't come in. Everything we keep thinking is it didn't come in tandem. It didn't take it down to 20,000. It only took it down to 29,000. And that update that Drummond got there, it's small, okay, but it is in line with what he needs. It is in line with what he needs to stay in the game. So that little update. Sorry, folks, we thought we figured out the pattern here where they were giving us about 10,000 at a time between the two of them. They didn't right there. They gave us a sliver of one, but that sliver of one broke 55-45. Remember, we said he's got to do, Drummond, at least this, okay? 54-46 is the at least number he had in Tulsa, 53-47 in Oklahoma. That little sliver, he gets 55-45. So it knocks us down modestly, but it was only a modest number of votes.
It was offset slightly, too, by Stevens County, recorded another 260 votes.
Yeah, and how'd that go?
And Mazie net about 20 votes out of it, 17 votes.
Okay, which means we're really, we're at 29,000 left statewide, right? 28,000 of them with Stevens. Remember, Stevens was Stevens was like the only one left with any. Yeah, Stevens was the only one left with more than like 300 votes. So 28,000 of the remaining 29,000 are these two counties. So at the risk of, once again, having my attempt to, the next sizable update here from these two counties, the update that brings this thing to like 20,000 left, right? Does it bring this number down? I still think that's a good benchmark for us. When this number of 29,000 remaining statewide is down to, what just happened?
Tulsa.
How many?
3,000 votes.
Yep.
Drummond, 50.4. Mazie, 49.6.
Bad for Drummond. Bad for Drummond. Knocks this down to 26,000. We're at 26,000 now left. Again, so Tulsa's given us like slivers, but that was bad. Every update that's not 54-46 or so there until it means that he has to offset it. I think this is our gauge. When this thing gets down to 20, we're at 26,000, right? When this thing gets down to 20,000, is this thing hovering at about 1,500, or is it still about where it is? I think that's kind of the gauge we're using here.
One of the things Melissa, our EP in the control room, has been collecting is some of the people in the comments that have been shouting out their different locations from around the world. We have Brad, who says hello from Australia. Chandra, who said she's watching from South America. We got a viewer from France.
Whoa.
Ireland.
Is that good morning? Bonsoir. Je m'appelle bibliothèque. I don't know.
They may be turning off the broadcast if they were watching you butcher the language.
Sorry, I tried.
Angelina from Las Vegas, Michael Spock from Portland, and Guy from South Florida. So I do appreciate seeing the breadth of people interested in the Oklahoma gubernatorial primary runoff election.
I think that's fantastic. Great. Australia.
Yeah.
They're like 12, is it 12 hours? They're like for a full day. Is it?
That's true, right.
It's something crazy there, right?
Right.
Thank you all. Wow, that's like, we love that. Yeah, we're all just, we're at 26,000 left. And I think we just want to see this thing come under 20,000 and just see if Drummond can't take a chunk out of it, by the time we get down inside of 20,000, if he can't get that thing correspondingly under about 1,500, it gets super, super daunting for him. Now, again, the distinction here, I'm looking at the clock, the distinction here is our decision desk's ability to call this can be limited in these really close races by, hey, even when all the vote appears to be in, sometimes they need to wait till the next day, check with election officials, and there's always a question. I don't know what the situation might be with like overseas ballots and things like this in Oklahoma. So
I was just trying to look at the Oklahoma website to see if they had a tally for like provisional ballots or something like that in the before the runoff, the original primary. I didn't see a separate breakout, but yeah, the decision desk has said that they will be careful with making a call here and probably waiting until tomorrow given the margin. So we're just trying to see where it ends up with these last couple of votes.
Okay, yeah, I think that's great guidance. That's we've sort of created our benchmarks here. They've been coming in pretty steadily. So I think in the next couple of minutes we're going to get updates that take this thing inside of 20,000, hopefully, and we're going to see if this number budges at all. Did something else just come in?
Not that I see.
No, I've only been staring at the number for 5 minutes. I should 2184. 26,000. Yeah, 13. Yeah. The next biggest outstanding source of votes is 150 in Cleveland County, where OU is. So let's just see. Tulsa came through twice there, gave us some big number. I don't know why I'm doing that with my hands. Let's see what Oklahoma's got up its sleeve. 13. Oh, I think we just got an update.
We did from Tulsa. 1,100 votes.
Yeah.
Drummond 49%. Mazie 50.9.
Oh, Mazie World Headquarters. Maybe they're in Tulsa, right? Maybe they're in one of those tunnels. I don't know. They got to be excited by that because now that's 2 consecutive updates from Tulsa where Drummond is falling short of that rough. We said he's got to be winning these updates. And that takes us down now. 26 comes down to 24,000 left statewide. There are 24,000 votes left statewide, and it's still sitting there, that Mazie margin. In fact, it ticked up with that last one. It's 2204. We've been saying when this 24,000, when that gets south of 20, right, if this thing isn't getting closer to like 1,500 or so, trouble there for Drummond. Again, pending a review by our decision desk of questions that are related to outstanding ballots and all these other things. But just in terms of trying to erase this deficit here, he's trying to do it. These are the only 2 counties really that are left. And it's just give us that next Oklahoma update. If Drummond gets what if it came in Drummond plus 15 points? It's a ball game. If it comes in Drummond plus 2, ooh, that's not good for him. If it ever came in more Mazie than Drummond, then, well, I'm powerless to do anything, but you know what I'm saying. 1026, okay. Just watch that number. 24,000, 13,000, 11,000.
I don't know if somebody got out the calculator or maybe the clock, but the update is it's 11:30 Wednesday morning in Australia.
Oh, okay.
So that's how
something just happened.
Yes, Oklahoma, 3,000 votes.
This is huge.
Mazie 50.8.
Oh, Mazie won the update. 49.2. Wow.
And we got a Tulsa update in there as well.
Oh, and what happened?
Drummond 52.
52. And guess what, folks? We've been saying that 20,000 vote target, we have moved south of it. 18,000 votes remain to be counted. What did we say when it was close to 30? We said, get it inside 20. Is this thing closer to 1,500 or is it over 2,000? It's still over 2,000. Those were since these came in and we said, ooh, Drummond's getting to maybe the edge of it here. Since these came in, every update, that's 3 from Tulsa, and that's a big 3,000 vote batch that just came in there from Oklahoma County. They've been very positive for Mazie. How about that for Mazie? Not just positive in keeping that Drummond. He won the last update that just came in from Oklahoma County that has added stability to this margin. Relatively speaking here, we're saying 0.6 of a point here, but 2150 the margin. There are only 18,000 votes left right now. It's 9,000 Oklahoma, 8,000 Tulsa. Look, to erase 2150 with, well, it's 17,000 between the 2 of them, right? And then it's 1,000. We think we're kind of thinking about 1,000 rough, give or take, that are scattered elsewhere. So again, we're saying realistically for Drummond, you got to do it in those 2 counties. So, 15, 975, and 18, 1. 18, 125. 17. Wait, we just got another update.
Yeah, we got another 500 votes from Tulsa.
And how'd it break?
Drummond wins 61% of those.
60. Oh my goodness. Okay. We got how many? That was a very small batch.
Yes, 533 votes.
533. So it doesn't. He won 61% with it. A 3,000 vote batch before that in Oklahoma County broke for Mazie by almost 2 points. A 500 by, so, okay, it keeps it over 2,000. I think the more critical thing, honestly, is it's still over 2,000. Now it's 60, between the two counties, Oklahoma and Tulsa, it is 16,500, right? And Drummond is trying to make up, we'll call it 2030, would put him a vote ahead in the lead. So, 485, and he wants to, I'm sorry, I'm just trying to come up with a good 16,500 is 8,250 plus 10, 15, 9365 into 16,500. Yeah, I think he wants to. I think he needs to win Drummond to erase this with what we think is left in Oklahoma and Tulsa, 57%. I think he needs 57% of the remaining vote in those two places. That would basically just erase it. What?
There was a computer glitch, but it's gone.
Did it say show something ridiculous?
It just showed a desktop.
Don't give away our codes. Oh, we got another update. We got
yes.
more. Whoa.
Okay, so Oklahoma was a bigger update here at 3,500 votes.
Okay.
Mazie, 51% of them.
There it is. Yeah, Mazie wins a huge Oklahoma update. And Tulsa.
Tulsa, 1,900 votes.
Yeah.
Drummond, 51%.
And Drummond, so wow. And now we're running out of space here. We got 13,000 votes left statewide after that. It's not 3,000, 13,000 votes left statewide. And still, the Mazie margin, raw votes, is over 2,000. 97% counted. So, 5,500 in each one. How much was the update we just got in Oklahoma?
We got 5,500.
Oh, they just gave us half the remaining vote all at once. And how much was the Tulsa? We had two updates for.
Tulsa was 1,900.
Okay. Two questions.
Yes.
Could you check in with our good friends at the decision desk?
Yes.
And ask if any thinking has shifted here at all? And while you're doing that, I think we've kept everybody abreast of the math right here, but it's 0.6 of a point in this race. Adam is going to check with the decision desk again, just sort of on their, how they're thinking about this. And again, like we say, we can have a situation here where what it looks like right now to us looking at this is, as close as this is, the path for Drummond to erase this is just really, really narrowing because he's just not been hitting the numbers he needs to with these updates. Yes?
The decision desk does not feel that the race is callable at this point. Yes.
Okay, just question on terminology. At this point or tonight?
The same guidance tonight, the same guidance that I gave you earlier, which is they feel like they need to, do checks and do sweeps.
Right. Totally.
The state and to these counties to make sure that there's no more remaining vote.
That's right, because we just got another update. Tulsa,
Yes.
What was it?
1,200 votes. Mazie wins 51% of them.
Yeah. I mean, so look, I think I've set like these deadlines that we've blown through a bunch of times here, but we're just at the point now where there's 9,600 votes left in these two counties. This statewide number is now 11,000 votes statewide, and it's basically 9,600 between these two counties. So, I mean, just you could see what the math would be. With 9,600, right, to erase a 2,078 vote margin, right, it would be 5839 into 61%. I think Drummond needs to win 61% of the remaining vote if he's going to. Yeah, he needs 61% of the vote if he is going to erase that. He's not. I mean, Mazie is actually winning. I think Mazie's winning more of the recent updates that we've been getting from these counties than Drummond. You know, Drummond winning 2 points. You know, he's had a couple where he's gotten up to 8 points. I think there was one very small batch where he got up to 10. He's not. It's just not. He's not going to catch him. I think, barring we'll stay. Oh, you got another update, and it was Mazie update.
Yeah, 51% for Mazie.
Well, how many votes?
1,800.
1,800 votes came in. This was Tulsa.
Yes.
Yeah, 1,800, and it broke for Mazie.
Yes.
Mazie, right, has right now it's 21-11. Now it's all that's left is 5,500 votes in Oklahoma County and 2,300 votes in Tulsa County. Sorry, my nose keeps starting here. And it just, yeah, we set this 2,000 thing. So look, the situation here, as well, I'm just trying to find out from our decision desk. I think we've attained clarity. We've attained as much clarity as we're going to, which is to say, Drummond is not going to catch Mazie with the vote that is remaining in Tulsa and in Oklahoma County. I'm hoping here that we can get one more, because it looks like Oklahoma's may have only one batch left the way they just did that. They did 11K, knocked it down to 55. Tulsa's been doing much more rapid incremental updates. But if that batch from Oklahoma came in and Drummond won it by 10, he would knock 550 off it. He still wouldn't even be at that 1,500 vote gap that we said he wanted to be at with 20,000 votes remaining. So it's a question right here with this 9,500 votes that are left statewide. The stuff that's left right now in our spreadsheet that we're estimating and everything just is clearly not going to be enough for Drummond to overtake Mazie. It's a question of, can he get it any closer, or does Mazie, because Mazie's been getting some really good updates here, does Mazie just build this thing even higher? And then that would be sort of where the night ends. And that's why I've been asking if our decision desk thinks this may be callable tonight, because that's the outstanding question when it gets this close. I know we just got another update, I think.
Oklahoma.
That was half of Oklahoma, yeah.
Yeah, we got 2,800 votes. Drummond wins 51%.
Barely makes a dent. He still hasn't been able to get under 2,000. We now have only 5,000 votes left between Oklahoma and Tulsa counties, and the Mazie lead is 2,046, and it really is not showing any signs now of budging more from that. So the thing is, if we get another couple updates here and it lands wherever it lands, 1,600, 2,400, 22, 1,800, somewhere in there, right? Wherever it lands, the decision desk, I just want to kind of confirm, is this is business for tomorrow, like to be...
That's what I've been told, yes.
Okay.
Tonight, that's what I've been told.
It's business for tomorrow.
Yes, that's
right.
That's all the guidance that I've gotten.
No, I just want to, that's a key just for trying to end this for the viewers, that this will not be called tonight.
That's what I've been told.
Okay. So I think we've reached a point here of clarity, which is, again, we think between Oklahoma and Tulsa counties, there's 5,000 votes left to make up 2046. Drummond would need to be getting in excess of 70% of those votes. He's lucky in these updates to be getting 53. And I think did we just get another one? We just got another one.
Yes, we got another Oklahoma County update, 1,800 votes. Drummond wins 50% of that.
50-50.
Yes.
Yeah. So now there are 3,200 votes left between Oklahoma and Tulsa counties.
Estimate.
Right, estimated 3,200. This part is clear, what we've been saying about this is going to land somewhere around here, it looks like, for Mazie. Drummond, with the vote that we have track of in our system, that we estimate is left, that vote is clearly not going to put Drummond ahead. But what is the situation here? We don't have answers to this right now, and this is what our decision desk says they're going to look into tomorrow. Calling around to election officials, anything with provisional ballots? Is there anything with overseas ballots? Any kind of military ballots? Is there any outstanding, source of vote here that could number in the, I don't know, hundreds? That could number maybe in the thousands that could potentially still swing this thing that is not accounted for in the system here. Okay, but in terms of the system here, we have really, look, we've gotten this thing to 99%. I don't think we're going to get it to 100. This is where it landed in the preliminary. Done. Yeah, we are at the point where we are right now. We arrived at in the preliminary at 10:52 p.m. and it's 10:40. So.
And the Oklahoma State elections results website has 1,972 of 1,984 election day precincts reporting, I believe, around the state. So there's still, again, we're waiting for those election day precincts to report. There could be other sources of vote. That's where we land right now.
It's where we land. And here's my final. You're going to kill me. I want to do one more update. And then I promise we will kill it at the next update. I think we're like 2 minutes away.
Okay.
Because I think that boy, you want to get out. I could tell. I don't blink.
I don't know what we'll learn, but I hope to learn a lot.
Absolutely nothing, but it's fun. But I just want to get it. We've got to 99. I just want to get it.
I understand.
And I'm seeing a thing here where we can get to, I swear, I think we're like literally one update away from this thing potentially saying 100. Again, not that the check mark suddenly appears, but just that we can leave you with that much more clarity.
I don't even know if that 99% moves to 100, 2 weeks after the election.
Right. That's a very totally fair point. It's this, that there's 2,000 votes between Tulsa and Oklahoma County. 2,000. Remember, we were here an hour ago, and there were 160,000 left statewide. And I was sitting here trying to figure. So we're at 2,000 left. That is the margin, by the way, for Mazie over Drummond. So Drummond would need to win the remaining vote by 100% to overtake Mazie here. So, but I just think it's 10:42. I'm going to give it like 3 minutes and see if we just get one more update, and then wherever that is, we're going to leave it there. And in fact, why don't we just take care of all the housekeeping before that? I'll remind everybody one more time. Next week, Massachusetts, Ed Markey, Seth Moulton, Senate primary. Also, by the way, a little bit of a sleeper, but we're going to be watching in Massachusetts, Congressman Steve Lynch, South Boston Democrat, long-serving South Boston Democrat, is getting a challenge in his primary. That challenger got the endorsement of the Boston Globe, and I think that could be an interesting primary to keep an eye on there. Lynch, who's held that seat since 2001. He won a special election to replace the late Joe Moakley 25 years ago. Lynch is an interesting character in Massachusetts politics. A bit of a throwback character, too. That might have, might be why he's a bit vulnerable in this primary. But we'll be keeping an eye on that. We'll keep an eye on other congressional races if anything, kind of percolates there. As you just saw in the graphic, New Hampshire the next week, potentially. And I teased a little. Well, it wouldn't be a major thing, but me and Adam talked about doing something little. I don't. Nobody has any idea what I'm saying. So, this is my chance to say, as we just kind of hope we get one more update here at 10:43:46. We hope we get one more update. Again, it's not going to change our understanding of this. You see, there's no call coming from our decision desk, and it's only 2,000 votes between those. I would just love to get that down to, but we may not, and it's okay because we've got clarity. We got as much clarity as we're going to get tonight. And again, the big picture implications, by the way, if this is subject to everything the decision desk goes through tomorrow. If Mazie emerges from this, as close as it is, what did we come into the night saying? That the theme tonight was the test of Trump, his standing with the Republican base. South Carolina, Darline Graham, he pushed her. And he delivered. We showed you there in Horry County, Myrtle Beach. I think he really did deliver there for her. And in this race, boy, I mean, razor thin, but Mazie's the Trump candidate. Drummond is not. And as it's basically 50-50, but this would be one that Trump would, if it holds, point to as a victory. Say you got the sweep tonight.
We got an update.
We got an update. I told you. Where was it? What was it?
Oklahoma County.
How many?
1,300 votes. Drummond, 51%.
There it is. Okay. And that, folks, brings us as close as humanly possible as we're going to get to 100% tonight. We're not going to get all the way there, but it's just one more update that confirms what the last 12 did. That last gasp, chance. Remember these numbers? These were the numbers that Drummond put up in one big update that knocked this thing down to the low 2000s in Oklahoma and in Tulsa. And we said, if he's going to get this down to zero, he needs to replicate these in every subsequent update. And every update since then, he's failed to do it. There's one tiny update of a small number of votes in Tulsa where he exceeded the number. Every other update, he's failed to do it. The number has consistently stayed above 2,000. And with that update, we are now talking about we're in a scattering of votes left in Tulsa and Oklahoma County and beyond. So that is where it's going to land, where it's razor thin, but it is a stubborn, persistent lead in the tally for Mazie. The question after tonight is simply going to be our decision desk convening tomorrow, talking to election officials, crossing T's, dotting I's, making sure there's no source of outstanding votes that has not been accounted for here. Again, we talk about provisional, military, those types of things that could possibly sway this. But that will be it for us tonight. So, with a huge thanks to the crew, as always, these guys are the unsung heroes of the night. Can we get them on? Can we show them? Can we give them and to Adam. There's Adam in the shot. And the crew, don't be shy, guys. You want to come on? Come on. Make an appearance. Wait, don't get out here let's get him out here. Come on out. Take a bow. Take a bow. We got a couple more. Don't go off yet. Get everybody out here. Get in here. This is the man who walks around with the heavy camera. My gosh. Come on, everybody. Great job. All right, and with that, enjoy the rest of your night in Australia, wherever. We'll see you next week, Massachusetts.